I fucked up and tried Taco Bell, and that is not authentic Mexican by no means. I know, you should have told me that earlier. I fucked up and got 2 burritos supreme, and I took a bite of it right at the drive-thru window, and then all of a sudden the countdown came. 5, 4, 3. My stomach said, you better find somewhere, because I'm about to shit this car up. I had to get out of the car and just shit in the parking lot. Oh my God, that poor homeless guy shit in the parking lot. And that ain't the worst time though. The worst time I had ate Taco Bell. I don't even know why I got it in the airport. But I fucked up and grabbed some. It was the only one open. I was like, fuck it, let me get some. I went on and got a couple of burritos supreme, and I was knocking them out, and my plane was about to board, so I got on that bitch. But it was a short flight. I thought I could make it to Las Vegas from LA and be okay, But as soon as I sat down, put my seatbelt on, the countdown had started. And that flight from LA to Las Vegas about 28 minutes. The pilot came on the intercom. We're about to make our final descent into the Las Vegas area. I was like, man, we'll be landing in about 25 minutes. Can you make it about 15? I'm trying to clutch. I'm trying to keep my ass tight. I'm letting out fart chunks like clack, 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 hoping that would take it away, No, it was hanging in there. And then the pilot come over the intercom, attention in the cabin. There's a plane on the tarmac, and they have a weather system coming in, so we're gonna have to fly in a holding pattern. I said, no, you can't do that to me. You're gonna be in a holding pattern, but I don't have no holding pattern. I said, fuck it. I said, stewardess, can I get up? Can I get up and go to the bathroom? She said, sir, you had to sit in your seat just in case of turbulence. Fuck the turbulence. I was knocking shit down. I knocked this baby out of this lady's arm. I'm knocking books and shit. I'm spinning out for old people. And I get to the toilet, and them toilets little shit, And back then I was wearing 555, and I see why they call it a lavatory, because you got to be a fucking scientist to figure out how I'm gonna get all this ass in that little ass toilet. And my stomach was making more noise. Sound like a ghost came in that bitch. I said, oh my God, I had to do something. The only idea I came up with is to pull my pants down and aim my ass in the door and let it ricochet out the mirror. But I said, I can't do that. People want to use this restroom and I want to get sued. So I just took off my clothes outside the lavatory. People were so disgusted. Oh my God, I don't want to look at this. He's butt naked and he has the nerve to have a thong on. And it's on crooked. It looked like his booty smiling at me. I said, bitch, that's not a thong, that's regular underwear. And I oozed into the bathroom. Good, I was sweating so I could have some lubrication. I slid in that son of a bitch. And I tucked my feet in and I got in that little toilet and I sat down. and I let out one warning fart. It sounded like a couple of ghosts came out. It sounded like I had Luther Vandross in my ass. And then, authentic Mexican, when you shit, it come out just regular, like, blah, 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 blah. Back like, then they have a little music, dum, 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 dum. That's it. That's it. Taco Bell come out like you got a 12 gauge in your ass. Kick out! Kick out! I was like, oh my God, kick out! Oh God, please. And that fire sauce was hitting the tip of my booty ring. I was like, Heavenly Father, please let some of that cool water splash up on my booty hole to give me some relief. Kick out! Kick out! I said, how many shells do I have? I shitted so much Taco Bell, next thing I heard, bing, bing. I said, oh my God, I must have ate the bell.
Like that. Now, I told y'all gonna get some black experience tonight. This is the blackest shit in the world. Like that. Like that is the blackest thing in the world. The blackest, you know how I know it's the blackest thing in the world? Because every black person here knows what I'm talking about. But you were never taught what like that was. You was just born black, that shit's in your DNA. You know what like that is. Like that is the barometer that all black people judge other black people by. Like that. And everybody not like that. White people, like what? Black people, tell them, Tony, preach. Everybody not like that. Sometimes you know a dude, but you don't know him like that. You might even fuck with a dude. You like, I fuck with him, but I don't fuck with him like that. Every black person here right now, that made perfect sense. Every white person, like what? I will explain. That's why we need more black people in certain places that understand the concept of like that, right? Because we all get it, so we need more black people in certain places that understand the concept of like that. We need more black lawyers that understand the concept of like that. We need more black judges that understand the concept of like that. We need more black people on the jury that understand the concept of like that, right? Because every time I watch my favorite TV show, First 48, they have a young black man sitting in interrogation trying to explain to white detectives that he didn't know the motherfucker like that. And those white detectives never get it. They never get it. They got the brother sitting there, he handcuffed, they gave him a cigarette, so you know he gonna talk. All right, detective, come here, man. Detective, come here. Sit down, let me tell you what happened. Sit down, I'm gonna tell you what happened, man. All right, listen. This is what happened. For real. All right, so I was in the car. You saw the video, I was in the car. But I was in the car with Keith. His boy in the back seat, I don't even know that nigga like that. So are you saying you were in the car with strangers? Man, you ain't listening, motherfucker. I'm saying I was in the car with Keith. Me and Keith go way back, junior high school. That's my dog right there. That was his man in the back seat. Man, I don't know the nigga like that. And I'm in the house watching this shit. He don't know the nigga like that. What the fuck is wrong with this cop? And then they go to trial, and the cool black lawyer gets up. Thank you very much, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this is an open and shut case. They asked my client during interrogation if he was in the car. And he admitted to officers during interrogation that yes, in fact, he was in the car. He was. But he was in the car with Keith. His A1. From day one. Now, the prosecution is about to tell you all about a nigga in the back seat. And I'm here to say right now, my client didn't even know that nigga like that. Case dismissed. Y'all don't understand how serious like that is to black people. Like that is bigger than love to black people. To black people, love is right here. Like that is here. Love right here, like that here. How many times you seen that one, black people? Yo, that's your girl? Yes, my girl. How long y'all been together? About a year, man. Is everything good? I love her. She dope. Oh, you love her? Word? You love her like that? Come on, man. You trying to make shit all serious. No, I'm just saying I love her. I don't love her like that. I'm just saying like I love her. I don't love her like that. I'm just saying I love her.
I am not perfect. I'm not You know when you pay with a credit card while it's reading the chip, it says do not remove? Sometimes I remove. Just being honest. I don't know why they care so much. What if I remove it? Who am I hurting? I'll put it back. It's not a big, watch. There's no line. I'm the only one here. I'm going to put it in. I'll take it out. I'll put it back. Who cares? I don't know why I've gotten very skeptical of any kind of notice. I got a thing on my phone the other day, those updates, said your data storage cloud is completely filled. And my brain went straight to, is it though? Is it really? Is it? Oh yes, it is filled. That's why we're reaching out. It is totally filled. That's weird because I never put anything in the cloud. Well, be that as it may, it's stuffed. It is totally stuffed. Shit's falling out of your cloud. I'd hate to tell you. The other clouds have been mentioning it because it's not pretty. What's happening? It's just disgusting up there. What's coming out of your cloud? Can I see the cloud? No, nobody sees the cloud. Nobody, not know-how. But it is stuffed. That's why we're talking. I'll tell you what, though. For $9.99, I can get you a bigger cloud. You're going to like this cloud. You can't see this one either, but trust me, it's the El Grande. I don't trust these people. I don't trust them. And by the way, they don't trust us. They don't trust us. How many times have you gone on a website and they don't even believe that you're a human being? And they have to screen you. Are you a robot? We won't be mad. Just honestly, are you a robot? Let me ask you, if I was a robot, why would I tell you? Doesn't that kind of defeat the whole purpose of being a robot? Because robots are not stupid. You know, we program robots to do a lot of smart things. I'll bet you with a little extra effort, we could teach them to lie. It's not that hard. Just type it in. If they ask, are you a robot? You say no. You can even program a little attitude. Do I look like a fucking robot? You know, why couldn't they do that? Okay. But they're expecting that. They're ready for the lying robots. That's why they always have that second tier test, the little picture test with the 8 pictures. Which picture has a school bus, or a chimney, or a crosswalk, or a palm tree? You would think that's easily within the realm of what a robot could do, right? No, they can't. They're stumped, they're stymied by the picture test. They get that far and then they go, we don't know what that is. It's yellow and big, we gotta go back. We can't do it. They cannot do it. Whereas I, not to brag, I'm very good at these tests. I am. I get them all right every time. I'm very good at it. School bus, not a school bus, not a school bus, not a school bus, not a school bus. Give me another one. Come on. No, I know I'm already in, but I'm enjoying myself. Keep them coming. What do you got? All right, chimney, not a chimney, not a chimney, not a chimney. Crosswalk, little piece of a crosswalk, that counts. Crosswalk, little crosswalk, no crosswalk. But they're not always easy. Sometimes they try to trip you up. Palm tree. Whoa, could be a ficus. You know what? Hang on. I don't know how specific they want to be with the trees. You know why I figured out why I love these tests so much? I'm just so happy to be asked something I know. Because there's so much I don't know.
Single people in the house? Single people are we dating? Woo! Yeah, I'm not happy either, man. I'm not. No. I'm online dating, but listen, you guys gotta be careful when you're online dating, okay? You gotta zoom in. Zoom in, okay? This one guy hit me up, he's like, hey, what's up, sexy? I was like, oh. Oh, he like 'em big. Okay. And then I zoomed in. Okay? I zoomed in. I was like, wait a minute. Why are there bunk beds here? Wait a minute. That guy's wearing the same color as, wait a minute. I was like, sir, are you in jail? What the fuck? He goes, baby girl, what you know about jail? That aluminum toilet behind you, bro. That man is taking the shit behind you. That's jail. That's jail. It's crazy, man. The first line on his profile said, a shark in a tank. That should have, I was like, damn, this is the plenty of fish in the sea they're talking about? What the fuck is this shit? The hell? This other guy hit me up. He was nice suit, very nice desk, professional looking man. I was like, oh shit, this one got a job. Okay, this is good, hell yeah. And then I zoomed in. I was like, wait a minute. Why are the shelves behind him bare? Wait a minute. Why is there no computer on the desk? Wait, just damn it. $79.99 on the chair he's sitting on. Shit. This motherfucker is at an Office Depot. What the hell? Man, how do you even get there? You go to Office Depot, you're like, I'm gonna print out some resumes for work. And you're like, yeah, you know what, fuck it. I'm just gonna trick all these girls on this dating site. Like, that's messed up, man. I don't go into a gym and take pictures with the machines. The fuck? Shit. I don't lie about my fat. Don't lie about your unemployment. The hell?
Therapy can kind of be hard for me because I just feel like 50 minutes a week is not enough. Right? Because it's always the same. It's like you get in there, first half of your session, you're catching them up on your week and all the bullshit. And this person said this and this person said that, right? And then the second half, I like to run my set. It's my time. She always says that. It's my time. I love my therapist so much. I do. I love her so much. I invite her to my shows every week. I do. Every week. I go, come to my shows! And she says, boundaries, right? And then I say, I love you! You guys ever just say that to your therapist? I love you! You're my mommy! Sometimes I just sing it to her. I'll just be like, you're my mommy and I'm your baby. I do it when I'm walking past all the other clients. I'm like, you're my mommy and I'm your baby. You're my mommy and I'm your baby. Goo goo gaga. She's like, get the fuck out of my office. Therapists are fascinating to me. Actually, if you don't mind, can I just do like one quick impression for you guys? Okay. Thank you. Okay, so this is my impression of every therapist I've ever met. Okay. Come on in. That's it, guys. That's the whole impression. Yeah. Why are therapists always freezing cold? Right? Like, what is it about empathy and like an inability to maintain your core body temperature? I feel like my therapist is always constantly shivering. Like, I come in shivering in front of like her own personal heater. She has like 11 scarves on. She's wearing one of those huge therapist like hand-woven ponchos, you know? Even still, right before we start, she'll always be like, hold on, let me just grab this rug off the floor. Where should we begin? I'm kind of the opposite. Like, therapy gets me fucking hot. It does. Gets me hot and bothered. Anybody else go to therapy to get turned on? I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like I go in there and I like flirt with her for 50 minutes, basically. There's like no one's approval in the world that I want more, right? So I just don't take it that seriously. Like, I'm always just like trying to find ways to make her laugh. I'm like, I was thinking maybe today we could switch seats, you know? You know? Joke City. Till the very end. Very end. When there's that classic moment, you know, where they're like, okay, so we're gonna start wrapping things up. We've just got about a minute left. You know, they think if they do like the ASMR voice, I'm not gonna have a panic attack in my car. So we're just gonna start wrapping things up. I think it's meant to actually calm you down. help you sort of transition out. But for me, for whatever reason, like when that happens, when she says that, something in my brain just goes off. This little switch goes off, and I'm just like, say something crazy, say something fucking crazy. Say something absolutely fucking insane. Say something she's never even heard before. The person out in the waiting room's not gonna be able to come in next. You're gonna be in there, baby. Say something fucking crazy. Say something fucking crazy. I was like, I wanna be a horse! She's like, okay, so we'll go ahead and start with that next week.
I heard someone come at me over here. They go, oh gosh, I'm gonna shit an owl. And you can feel the moving. He's trying to get out. I always wanted to fill my asshole with confetti. So when I farted, I was like, what the fuck? Who was that magical man? Ladies. Ooh. Everybody farts. Everybody in this room farts. Somebody is farting in here right now. Besides me, somebody else. I do bet you somewhere in this room right now, there's a woman in here who's had to fart for at least a half hour. She knows if she lets it out, she's splitting the bill for the drinks, you know? And I admire that. A woman's got a fart, she holds it inside. That's fucking amazing. I can't imagine living that kind of lifestyle. I've been letting them go as they come my whole life. Fart shows up, fart goes out, like that. Can you imagine living that way, guys? Guys, imagine all the farts you've ever had since you were like 13. And imagine holding them in your whole fucking life. That's why women are crazy. They've been holding their farts for 30 years, just eats away their brains. They wait till they get home, they stand out in the yard at 4 in the morning, like, all the grass around them dies, like, those crop suckers aren't aliens, that's the farmer's wife. I fart a lot after sex. I think it's because my muscles won't do any more work. So my ass cheeks won't clench. It's like, it's too late, you already fucked me. It's your fault, have some standards next time. They put me in a hotel. I've been in there for one day. I farted in the elevator 37 times. And I'm on the first floor. It doesn't make any sense. But they all knew it was me. The last time, even the kids were like, that fat guy just farted. Everybody thinks the fat guy is the guy who farted. So if you got a fart, just fart near a fat guy and be like, what the fuck? Him and his chicken nuggets. I didn't even know it was there. Bent over to tie my shoe. It was like a gunshot. It's like, whack! Holy shit. Hi, how you doing? Could you press 4, please? Like, there's nothing to say. There's nothing to say after you fart. You burp, you go, oh, excuse me. Fart? No. Excuse me doesn't fucking cover it, you know? Yeah, excuse you. Like, there should be something by now. Like, may God have mercy on us all. Thank you. Could you cover your ass, please? I don't want my kids to get sick. That's a weird joke. It's not for everybody. Listen, when I grew up, George Carlin, Richard Pryor, Robin Williams, Bill Cosby, between the rapes. I didn't do it. They all had fart jokes. You look it up. On one of their albums, they all had fart jokes. You know why? Not because it's a low-hanging fruit or easy joke, because it unifies people. And now everybody's fighting, and it's uncomfortable. But no matter your race, age, gender, sexual orientation, political affiliation, religion, or handicap, we all fart. That's my message. That's why I'm here today. I have t-shirts made. We all fart.
The wife and I, twin boys. People ask if we use fertility drugs to have twins, and unless you count Prozac and tequila as fertility drugs, we like to say we were blessed with twins because we got the child that we always wanted and one for parts. And I had always dreamed of having twins, but in my dreams they were the Olsen twins in a hot tub. It was different, but this is special. It really is. I'm Irish. My wife is Lebanese, so we know they're going to grow up to be drunken terrorists. You might want to wait for the punchline before you clap at that. It's great, though. I like being a parent. It's fun. Twin pregnancies, tough pregnancy. First trimester, a lot of vomiting and crying, and my wife was having a tough time, too. And then second trimester, she snapped at me one day, and she said, I'd love to see you give birth to a child. And I said, I'd love to see you pee your initials in the snow. We're just different, you know what I mean? I went to every single doctor's appointment with my wife when she was pregnant because I only work an hour a night, so I couldn't get out of it. And it's humiliating. You walk into the doctor's office, and within 5 minutes, your wife is naked with her feet up in the stirrups, and I can't even get her to wear a cowboy hat to bed. You know what I mean? And then the doctor comes sauntering into the room, and the first thing he does is he conducts what he calls a breast examination. That's what he calls it. I call it going to second base on my wife in front of me. That's what I call it, because that's not necessary, right? There's no medical need for that. What is that, Obamacare? And then he says, I'm just looking for lumps. And I'm like, you're going to find one, fuckface. Keep it up. It's a scam. Our final visit to his office, I gave him a urine sample all over his desk. I didn't like him, and I made that clear. He was all right. He actually let me be in the delivery room when the kids were born. First, they want to make sure you're not going to pass out. So he said, have you ever witnessed childbirth before? And I said, yes, but it was a long time ago, and it was from the inside. But I think I can handle it. And I was fine. It was great. I actually filmed the delivery. I call it the sequel, because I also filmed the conception. And that is none of your goddamn business. You'll learn a lot when you become a dad, stuff you don't know you're going to learn. Women have a book called What to Expect When You're Expecting. There's no book for men because they know we're lazy sacks of shit and we'll never read it. So we learn on the job. And the first thing I learned was that Playtex has a synthetic nipple for the top of their baby bottles that is so unbelievably lifelike. And you have not lived until you had a gin and tonic through one of these things. Honest to God. That is nirvana. You're very kind. We child-proofed our home, but they kept getting in. Very frustrating. 2 boys. My wife wanted to name one of them after her grandfather, but I thought Grandpa was a stupid name, so I vetoed that. And then she suggested Simon, and I said no, because then we'll have to do whatever he says, and I am not doing that, so... Thank God there were boys, because the girl's name we had picked out was Alexa and Siri, so we dodged a bullet there.
My mom is a lot. She's a lot. Lately, she's been changing the Netflix password to try to get me to call her. Some of you are laughing. Some of you are like, that's a pretty good idea. I should try that with my kids. I'm not falling for it. I have Hulu. I'll just watch that. I don't give a shit. My mom is great, but she's a lot. She's a very loud Jewish mother. Like I was recently visiting her. This is totally true. I'm inside, and I just hear a yell from the front lawn. Oh my God! Renan! Come outside! The 4 deer outside! It's incredible! Renan, come outside! The 4 deer! 2 parents and 2 babies! It's amazing! Renan! Come outside! And then I came outside, and would you believe they were gone? Seriously, something had startled them and then run away. Well, that's not true. One was still there. He had died of a heart attack. It was a lot. My mom is great, but she's been a 3rd grade teacher for like 50 years, and as a result, she could only talk to you like you're also 8 years old. It's very annoying. Even last week, she was like, your cousin Phil has been having an affair for 2 years, which is terrible, because he's married. And when you're married, it's very upsetting to find out your spouse is cheating on you. It is, and it can make her feel really sad. Have you ever felt sad before? So yeah, I'm feeling sad right fucking now. Because I'm 39 and you're talking to me like I'm a child. I am not a child. I am a grown adult talk to me like a grown adult. Now, what's the new Netflix password?
Hard being black. Hard. Hard being black. Fun, but hard. Exciting, but hard. You know why it's hard being black? Because when you black, you gotta watch out for everybody. When you black, nobody get a pass. Nobody get a pass when you black. You black, you're around all white people, you're like, I gotta be careful around all these white people. I'm the only black person around these white people, gotta be careful. You black, you're around all black people. I gotta be careful around these niggas. I'm the only black person around these niggas. Hard being black. Another reason why it's hard being black, because wherever you go as a black person in America, you have to realize you are there as a black person. What do I mean by that? I mean that you will be treated based on that person's perception of black people, not anything you may have said or done yourself. If they have a fucked up perception of black people, nothing you can say or do is gonna make them feel better about you if they don't like black people. That's why black people encounter racism all the time and it catches us off guard. Yo, I didn't even say nothing, this guy's bugging the fuck out. Because he already had a fucked up perception of black people to begin with. That's why black people have to always be able to adjust our blackness. We always gotta adjust our blackness. Every black person here knows what I'm talking about. You guys especially, because y'all are 9 to 5, so you know. You know, you gotta always adjust your black. If you're not black in this room, I'll try to explain to the non-black people here. This is how black people live. Every black person lives like this. We go somewhere, we assess our surroundings, and then we set our nigga accordingly. Every black person got a nigga dial. A day in the life of a black person. Job interview, 2. Thank you so much for seeing me. I greatly appreciate it. Well, a little bit about myself. I'm a self-starter, if you will. I'm industrious. I start a task, I won't leave it until it's done. My grandmother told me that years ago. I hope she's looking down at me proudly. I'll leave my resume here. It speaks for itself, and I'll wait for your phone call. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time. Have a great day. Be blessed. Bye. Soon as you leave, 6. Man, these fucking punk-ass crackers asking me all these goddamn questions and shit. Give a nigga the job, motherfucker. I'm broke as fuck. Now, if I rob your bitch ass, I'm the bad guy, right? You get in your car on the way home? 8. That pussy way too high. You need to cut it. Cop pull up behind you. Woo, 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 woo. 1. Good afternoon, officer. Was I speeding? I'm sorry, I just left a job interview. I think it went well. Well, if I deserve a ticket, I understand you're doing your job. Thank you so much. Take care, sir. It's a tough job you have. Cop drive off. 10. Fucking hoe-ass cop, punk motherfucker. Bitch-ass nigga. Fuck that old hoe-ass motherfucker. That's every black person. White people, yes, your black coworker lives like that too. Every black person. And you know who sees that shit every single day? You know who sees it every day? Women. Women see it every day. When black men try to talk to y'all in the streets, that's what you're witnessing, the number change. Starts off on a low number. Hey, sweetheart, you looking lovely today. Can I walk with you, baby girl? Slow down. Why you walking so fast? You don't hear me talking to you? You gonna keep walking? Fuck you, hoe! You're like, he's so damn rude and shit. You should have said hi when he was on 2. All black people live like that. All black people live like that except for, there's one exception. All black people live like that except for older black men. That's the only exception. Black man hit like 70 years old. He set his nigga on 5. Leave it there for the rest of his life.
Here's something I've noticed about men. If a man, American men, I don't know about Europeans, but if a man played a sport in elementary school or junior high school, I think you all secretly believe that if things just went slightly differently in life, you would be playing that sport professionally today, am I right? Sure, it was just the hands of fate that took it away. What was it? A ripped tendon or allergies? I am in the car with my husband, and he's making me listen to hockey on talk radio. Play-by-play hockey on talk radio. I would rather have eye surgery, but I love this man. So I'm looking out the window, and out of the corner of my eye, I see movement, and I turn my head, and my husband's shoulders are going up and down, and he's gripping the steering wheel, and he had a tear. He had a tear. I said, "Are you okay? What happened?" He goes, "Corey, if I hadn't gone to law school, I could have turned pro." All right, you're not getting it. We're talking about a 5'8", chubby Jewish attorney from Five Towns, Long Island, with asthma. So I want to be nice, so I'm like, pro backgammon, pro chess, pro bono. I know it sounds like I did okay, married a lawyer, right? You're all thinking that? Yeah. Let me put that myth to rest. Let me put that myth to rest, okay? I did not marry the cutthroat, ruthless, give me all your money lawyer. No, I married the pay me what you can, whenever you can. I just want to see justice served lawyer. Have you ever heard of those? I had never heard of those. I got so ripped off. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you get it? It's like I'm sleeping with a rock star, but he's in a Christian band. People think I exaggerate. I found the only lawyer with a conscience. I really, I feel like I did. I'll give you an example. I fell in Macy's, you know, the department store, right? And I didn't move, not a muscle. I waited for a neck brace. Hello, what am I, new? So I called my husband, the lawyer, on the cell phone. "Hi, I just fell in Macy's." He's like, "You okay?" I said, "I don't think you heard me." "I just fell in Macy's." He's like, he's like, "We are not," right away, he says, "we're not gonna sue Macy's." I said, "Why not?" He goes, "Because you love Macy's." I said, "I know I love Macy's. I want to own Macy's."
I hit on a girl in real life recently. Did you know you could still do that? You don't have to like fire emoji react their stupid Instagram story or anything like that. You can just go talk to them. You shouldn't, but you can. I feel like I kind of even knew that then, but I was like, no, I'm special. She'll appreciate it. I walked up to this girl. I was like, "Hey, I think you're really cute. I was wondering if I could get your number." And she's like, "Oh, I'm actually a little polysaturated, so that's not going to work." And what that means is that she's polyamorous, so she has multiple partners, but she is at capacity for me. She has just reached maximum occupancy down there, and it would be a code violation to let me in. My dick's just a fire hazard for her at this point. Polysaturated. That was a new no. I can handle rejection, but when you get a remix of it, it really stings. I'm like, I don't even know how to react to this. Because here's the thing, if you're polyamorous, that's great. Go have your hot girl summer, that's amazing. But don't make you banging a bunch of people sound like science. That's what I didn't like. Because polysaturated, that doesn't sound like a lifestyle. That just sounds like the ingredient that makes gummy worms bad for you. They're like, "Oh, you gotta go to Trader Joe's. The Kroger ones got a lot of polysaturated fats. You gotta be careful." That's where that word goes. Not hurting my feelings. It just sounded like she'd had too much to eat of fucking. I think at the core, that's what really bothered me about it. And now I'm just like the world's most pathetic waiter, just coming up being like, "And for dessert, could I offer you my penis?" And she's just like, "Oh no, I could not. I am polysaturated. I have no room left. Maybe if I burp really loud, I could work in a hand job, but probably not." Try to do the dating apps, those suck. I found out recently Hinge added a thing where you can like tell what the other person sounds like. I feel like that's a good idea. Because these girls, they have every right to know about my stupid AM radio voice. My fucking Adam West on Quaaludes way of talking. They have a right to know about that. And I have a right to know how they're gonna sound. I remember one time I went on a date with this girl way out of my league. And when I saw her, she looked just like her pictures. I was like, how is this possible? I introduced myself. I was like, "Hi, I'm Will." She's like, "Oh, hey, what's up, man?" I was like, "Oh, there it is. There it is right there." Yeah, you talk like an idiot. This makes sense now. Now this makes sense. She was cute. I wanted to finish the date. We're sitting there. I'm just like, "Well, tell me about yourself." She's like, "Well, I used to fuck with Xanax pretty heavy, but then my brother's guy stopped getting them, so, you know, they're all fake as fuck." If you heard the audio of that date only, you would think it was like an NPR interview about the opioid crisis. Just like her describing an addiction and me being all, oh, yes, I understand.
I wanted to be a professional athlete when I was a kid, but I got bullied out of it by this dude named Dad. Because I played basketball when I was a kid, and one time I played one-on-one against a kid that only had one hand, and he beat me. And I didn't have the type of dad that's like, if you just believe in yourself and work your hardest, there's nothing that can stop you. You'll make it all the way to the top. No, my dad was like, do you see why I don't like going to your games? It's embarrassing. He's going left. Actually, don't clap for that one, that's ableist. My dad got mad at me when I was a kid for getting a participation trophy. People act like those are new. I got one in the 80s. I played soccer at the end of the season. They gave me a trophy, and my dad goes, you didn't earn that. I was like, yeah, I'm 6. I've never earned anything. Like, I'm not a newsie. I don't get that, though. People get so mad about the participation trophies. I got them. It didn't give me any confidence. And I think it's because I wet the bed until I was 14 years old. Yeah. And then a few years in my 30s when I was going through a divorce, drinking a lot. And my parents tried to help me not wet the bed. Well, my mom tried to help me not wet the bed. I don't know if my dad knew that I wet the bed. There was 5 kids in our family, and he wasn't like the dad that knew about his kids. Like, he never went to a doctor's appointment or like a school meeting. He was just like, Sue, this one smells weird. Put him in the back of the van. Got Rosa parked. But my mom, she took me to a doctor, and the doctor told me that what I should do to try and stop wetting the bed is suck in my belly a bunch of times, and that should strengthen my pelvic floor, and then maybe I'll be able to hold my urine through the night. So basically at 8 years old, the doctor's like, do some Kegels, see what happens. And it didn't work. I still wet the bed, but boy, is my pussy tight. Gotta start young, right, ladies? Yeah. Now, ladies, if you've been doing your Kegels, clap without using your hands. There's some curtains. So that didn't work. So my mom had to figure out something to do to stop me from wetting the bed, and she couldn't stop me, so she just made me wear diapers to bed. That's all she could think of. Like I was a small kid, so I fit the largest size pamper, and she made me wear that to bed, and then that was it. Then she's like, be proud of who you are, and don't let anybody make you feel like you're less than. And then she sent me off to sleepovers and camp, and I got bullied relentlessly. Because, yeah, it's okay. Even if the kids didn't see the diaper, they could still hear it. Diapers are so loud. And the ironic thing, the only way to get a diaper to be quiet is to get it wet. So kids would find out about my diaper, and then they'd bully me. They'd be like, oh, why you gotta wear a diaper? What are you, a little piss baby? Oh, piss baby's gotta wear a diaper. That's what they called me, piss baby. And in 2023, if I was a kid that wet the bed, I'd still get bullied. There's no advocacy group for bedwetters, right? There's no hashtag, right? There's no parade. There's no flag, and it'd be the easiest flag to make, white, yellow spot. I made them all the time.
I know the best place to eat. Now, I live in LA for a while. LA got, it's the best of all worlds, Yeah, for real. When it comes down to food, you know what I'm saying? You can eat horribly wrong for a minute. You can go eat all they got a place like Tommy Pastrami. You can get 30 pounds of pastrami on one damn sandwich. You be like, damn, you want cheese on it? Is there room? You can go to Whitman's Fish and get you some fresh fish. You get it fried right there in front of you, even though that motherfucker be mean. I don't know why black restaurants, they always look at you fucked up. Can I help you? I'm like, yes, smile a little bit while you cooking my damn food. What you want? I just want some fish. What kind? Give me some catfish. We ain't got no damn catfish. I was like, well, why don't you just tell me what you don't have so I won't say that because it seems like I'm pissing you the fuck off. Black restaurants kill me anyway, man. You gotta go call a soul food restaurant. You gotta go on the right day to get what you want. They had a whole menu, oxtail, short rib, and fried chicken, but you gotta look at the dates. You know? Yeah, give me the short rib. Well, does it look like Thursday? I'm like, I don't know. Well, give me the mac and cheese. Does it look like Sunday? Look, lady, what can I have today? You can have the meatloaf. I don't even want no meatloaf, but you need to get the fuck out of here. That's all we got. And don't try to call your order into a black restaurant. That phone ring forever. Ring, 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 ring. You be sitting there like, God damn, are they closing? It's 11:30 in the morning. What the fuck? Ring, ring, ring. You find somebody pick up. Hello. Is this Make Me Soul Food? Yes, it is. I'd like to make a pickup order. All right, hold on. Go ahead. Give me the cabbage with some oxtail. Give me some rice and gravy with that, some yam, and give me some fried okra. You're like, hold on, man. I don't even work here. Let me see if I can take it. The fuck you answering the phone for? I mean, some restaurants, because I love Chinese food, but you call them motherfuckers, you don't know what they saying. You might as well just go in. You're like, don't talk like talk. Is this Chung Fa? Man, speak English. I am speaking English. I know. What the fuck was that other shit you said? Who the fuck are you talking to somebody else? And, L.A., in California, you can get that authentic Mexican food. I love Mexican food. That shit fire, But they be trying to trick you. Be the same food with a different name, Like a burrito tortilla with meat and beans in it. An enchilada tortilla with meat and beans in it. A chimichanga tortilla with meat and beans in it. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then I was like, fuck it, give me 3 of each. I don't give a shit. And that's a bad thing about, Mexican restaurants. They don't even have no restaurant. They be just cooking shit on that little hot grill right out in front of some building. They be right out in front of LA Fitness. You come out there. I mean, talking to you, I said, what you want? What you want, my man? My man, I got you, man. Come on, what you want? Fuck, give me 5 of them son of a bitch. He ain't got no health sticker, nothing. You don't give a fuck. He chopping that onion now. You like a onion?
Speaking of dumb things, does anyone here believe in astrology? I'm sorry. I mean, it's cute if you look at your horoscopes, that's adorable. That doesn't bother me. But I have a friend who believes in it too much. She believes in it way too much. She won't go on a date with a guy unless their signs match. She believes in it so much she changed her name to Rain. I don't know if that has to do with astrology, but it feels like it does. Based on your guys' right? It feels like it does. Last time I asked her to hang out with me, she goes, I can't, the moon's in retrograde. That's too much. You're believing it too, it's running your life. It's too much. I was like, Rain, what would you do if the whole world believed in astrology the way that you do? Really believed, took it into practice. She was like, oh, it'd be so beautiful. It'd be so serene. No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't, right? Imagine you get in a car accident. You call your car insurance company up, and they're like, I'm sorry, we can't cover you today. The moon's in retrograde. You shouldn't have been driving. right? Or you're like, oh, why is my car insurance more than his? Oh, it's because he's a Capricorn and you're a Sagittarius, so you're not reliable. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make practical sense. He's pointing at his wife. See, you gotta stop believing in this.
How do gorillas get so buff? They don't work out. You ever see them on Nat Geo? They're just sitting around eating leaves. There's like zero protein in leaves. How do such shiftless animals get so jacked on such a paltry diet? Incredibly shredded beasts. They don't live very long, though. They tap out in their mid-30s, which isn't good at all considering their vegan lifestyle. Alligators live into their 50s, and they'll eat anything. They'll eat a whole gorilla. And then swim right afterwards. And do push-ups. Every step an alligator takes is a push-up. Do you know that an ant is capable of lifting 50 times its own body weight? And did you know that 50 times an ant's body weight is less than a pound? So in essence, ants are still pussies. They say humans are the only animals that are aware of their mortality, but then how come roaches haul ass when you turn the lights on? How come it's only ugly animals that break into your house? Rats, roaches, mice. Wouldn't it be nice if leaving out dirty dishes attracted baby ducks? You know, you walk into the house. Who left the dishes all over? Oh, look at the baby duck. You guys are pretty squeamish for a pretend duck. Now, I could never hurt an animal. I don't like seeing animals suffer. I've become desensitized to human suffering, though. A lot of people are like that. You ever see the movie Marley and Me? The dog dies in that movie. That is the saddest movie you're ever going to see. You ever see the movie Saw? Nobody cried in Saw. And you can argue Saw is not supposed to be a sad movie, but imagine Saw with puppies. I know, it's fucking heartbreaking. I love dogs. I've been living in my building for 10 years. I don't know any of my neighbors' names, but I know all of their dogs' names. I'll greet the dog. I won't even acknowledge my neighbor. It's like, hey, buddy. Hey, what's going on? I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Buddy. Buddy's a good boy. You're not a good boy. Get the fuck out of here. My dog loves chicken. That's her favorite food. I could break her out of nightmares by just saying the word chicken. Do you ever hear a dog have a nightmare? Chicken. Tried to feed the dog a piece of cantaloupe the other day, but she wouldn't eat it. She won't eat cantaloupe. I've seen the dog eat her own ass. But cantaloupe? No. Doesn't like the taste. Now I'm afraid to eat cantaloupe. Got the dog a little gift. I bought her a glow-in-the-dark ball. I thought she'd really enjoy it. Turned all the lights off in the apartment. I threw the ball. Dog went crashing into my dining room table. Unless you have glow-in-the-dark furniture, the glow-in-the-dark ball sucks. Should have just gotten her a regular ball and a set of night vision goggles. Sprained her little leg. I had to take her to the vet. Here's a little tip. You ever want to save money at the vet? Act like you couldn't care less about your dog. Well, you don't want to go in there concerned, because they'll milk the shit out of that concern. Well, it looks like a sprain, but we don't want to rule out thyroid cancer. Normally we do a CAT scan, but it's a dog, so we're gonna have to go with the dog scan. No, you gotta lowball them. You gotta walk in there. Doc, my dog hurt its leg. What do you charge to put it down? Oh, what are you, crazy? It's a sprain. A couple of days rest, your dog will be fine. Couple of days? That's what I thought, you fucking asshole.
Here's another thing that I didn't see coming. As you get older, do you find you get hurt in ways you didn't used to get hurt? I injured myself doing something stupid, which, by the way, that is the #1 cause of injury in this country, is doing something stupid. Ask anybody how they got hurt, guarantee you the first thing they'll tell you, yeah, I was so stupid. I was like, yeah, of course. Right? Because nobody gets hurt doing anything smart. You've never heard of that. Hey, I was working on algorithms for the space program, and my brain just caved in, and that's why I look like this. I was so smart. No, it's always stupid. It's always something stupid. Yeah, I was climbing a ladder in flip-flops. Okay, well, that's not smart. Yeah, no, I was boiling pasta naked. Okay, why? Why would you do that? That's the whole purpose behind pants. There's no reason for that. My injury was stupid, but I learned something. And I'll share it with you. Here's what I learned, folks. At a certain age, don't help anybody move a couch. You just leave it or get a young person. There's no reason for you to get involved. I didn't even think about it. My friend said, you want to grab that? We want to scooch it back. So I lifted, and just as I lifted, I heard a pop in my arm. I said, whoa, that's not good. There shouldn't be noise in my shirt. Anybody hear that? It really hurt, but then 10 seconds later, it didn't hurt. So I thought, well, maybe I just dodged a bullet. Maybe I tweaked it. No. The next morning, I looked down. Things have moved. The muscle, it's not like a big muscle. I'm not trying to show off. I'm just saying, whatever sad, pathetic muscle I had fell. It just fell. So instead of being like a gradual little mound, it was a puny hill gathered at the bottom. It didn't hurt, but it looked wrong. So I said, I got to get this fixed. So I had to find a surgeon, orthopedic surgeon. My friend says, I got the guy for you. I got the guy. Don't even look around. He said, I got the guy. My guy. I got the best guy. My guy's the best. You ever notice all your friends always have the best guy? Nobody has the 7th best dentist. You've never heard that? I have the 35th best proctologist. No, they're all the best. They can't all be the best. Like my regular doctor, my checkup guy, he's not the best. I know that. He's and I'm fine with it. He's okay. He's like in the top 20 in his building, I would imagine. He's fine. He's not a particularly great doctor, but he's got terrific parking, and I love that. They're in and out of there. But my friend said, no, you got to go. He's great. You're going to love him. And he kept selling. I said, I'm going. He said, no, you're going to love him. He's a great guy. He's very thorough, very great guy. And then he says, and he's really handsome. I went, okay. It's not something I generally look for when choosing a medical practitioner, but whatever. Okay. So I go. They put me in a little examination room, and I'm there 10 minutes by myself. Door opens. Doctor walks in. Guy was really handsome. I'm not going to lie to you. Even with my friend's warning, I was still a little thrown. Whoa, look at you. Hang on, look at you. That's a good-looking guy. Look at this guy with a square jaw and a full head of hair. That's a good-looking guy. And it struck me that shouldn't be. If you're already the top surgeon in the country, you don't get to be good-looking too. That's not right. Pick one or the other. That's not how this works. Pick one or the other. It's like sometimes you meet somebody and they're really attractive, and then they turn out to be stupid. You go, fair enough. Okay. Pick one. But this guy, he was great. He was very thorough. He did an MRI, did an X-ray. He said, you did some damage. He goes, you have a little tear in your rotator cuff? He said, but that's not your big problem. He said, your big problem? I said, I know, I'm emotionally unavailable. He said, perhaps it's not my area. He said, your big problem, get ready, he said, your bicep is partially detached. I said, hang on, doc, I got to throw up a little bit. Oh, whoa. He said, why would you say that? He goes, that's not, I see it all the time. I said, all right, so what do we do now? A little surgery? He says, well, you can, but you don't have to. I said, what does that mean? He said, well, the best I can do is I'm going to bring you back to where you were before you hurt yourself. He said, but you're telling me you can do everything. I said, yeah, I got full range of motion. He says, all right, and you're not in any pain? I said, no, there's no pain. He says, yeah, so I would just leave it. I said, is that where I'm at? Are we already there? Is that what's happening? Are we just going to run down the clock now? Is that what we're doing? Just leave it. Oh, my God. If I was real estate, I'm not even a fixer-upper. I'm a tear-down. Just Yeah, stick it out as long as you can, but I wouldn't put more money into it at this point. I said, I can hear you when you say that.
I'm sure you guys can tell this about me. I was supposed to be a professional basketball player. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I don't know why you're laughing, but okay. Yeah, thank you. You know, I played for 8 years growing up. I started at 2'10". That's a height. Not a time. Okay. I get it. I didn't have like the height or the wingspan to be a successful basketball player. But, you know, I'm glad I played because I learned a really valuable lesson that I could use for a future in entertainment, which is this, you know, doesn't matter. You work really hard, you practice every day, and your dreams will still be crushed, okay? So, yeah, good. It's good to know early. I say teach it in the womb, okay? But I didn't have the basketball bod, all right? You know, this body walks into a room, everybody immediately looks, they go, that's a comedian. That's a comedy bod right there. And yeah, my body's always coming up with funny material. Like I discovered this about myself recently in the nighttime. I discovered I can actually wear an eye mask, you know, one of those sleeping masks, as a bra. Ooh. That's a good one, body, right? Twisty punchline, the whole thing. Yeah.
She loves true crime. I'm okay with true crime. I like sports. So I came up with an idea for us to spend more time together. I was like, baby, I got an idea. Combine both our interests. Why don't we murder a professional athlete? I think it'd be really great for us. It's got everything we like. It's got the murder. It's got the sports. There was only one time she was ever interested in sports, and it was that time that the guy from the Bills almost died. That was literally the only time that she was watching Sports Center. She's like, is he going to be okay? I was like, oh, someone almost died. You are so obsessed with true crime. She loves true crime, hates horror movies, which I find interesting, right? Like if I put in a horror movie, she's like watching it like this. She's like, oh my God, oh. So it's like, you want to like hear about murder, but you don't want to see it. So tell me all gruesome details. If I put on a horror movie that's too gory, I'll get shamed, guys. She's like, oh, this is disgusting. You like this? This is gross. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Would this be better if it was two white women gossiping about a family's worst moment? Have you ever listened to a true crime podcast? It's literally two white women having the time of their life talking about somebody that died. They'll get all into it. They'll be like, okay, so today we're going to get all into the Johnson family murders. So brutal that the family is being like totes annoying and is like, please don't talk about this. But fuck that, we're going to get all into it because my murder mitten's got to hear all the gruesome details. But first, today's sponsor, Pinot Noir. Not a brand of wine, just wine in general. These true crime podcasts are so popular. There's one called My Favorite Murder. That's like the most popular one. I'm like, they're ranking murders? They have favorites? Imagine like your cousin died and you're just like trying to get some info and you come across two women having a great time. You're just trying to get some info and they're basically like, look, I know it's like really sad that your cousin like got stabbed and left on the side of the highway, but listen, it was our favorite murder. I mean, we loved it. It was just, you're not topping it this year. I mean, our three favorite murders all time, Jeffrey Dahmer's second victim, Ted Bundy's third victim, and your cousin. I mean, that's just, for our money, top three favorite murders. You're not beating it. You're not beating it. She doesn't like My Favorite Murder. She likes this show, this podcast called Crime Junkies. Yeah, you know it? Crime Junkies. It's two white women. But really, it's one main co-host and then another one that just says, oh my God, that's so crazy. That's it. It's the one main one. She's giving you the info. She's telling you what's up. She's like, okay, so today we're gonna get into this like murder from the 70s. This guy got away with killing a bunch of women. And then this other one just goes, oh my God, that's so crazy. And that's it. oh, we're gonna get into this murder in the 80s. This guy killed 3 women. And she's just like, oh my God, that's so crazy. And I'm like, this woman's not needed. She's just not adding anything to the discourse. So much so that I got dragged to a live taping of this podcast at the Beacon Theater. And guys, only one was there. And you can guess which host was there. I would have liked it if they left just the oh my God girl who just had to fill 2 hours of being like, oh my God, some guy killed people. Oh my God, I don't know. So it was the information one. And it was crazy, guys. It was like a cold case from like 1984 Cincinnati. And she's got a whiteboard and she's got suspects. And she's like, this guy might have done it. But I don't know, maybe it was this guy. Oh, but look how guilty this guy looks. I think it was this guy. And then she says the craziest thing, she goes, it's so good that everyone's here tonight because we're all gonna help solve this murder. I was like, a cold case from 1984? And I think it's a crazy thing to say, but everyone, all the women there, is like 95% women are like, oh yeah, we're gonna solve this. Yeah, we're gonna solve this. Oh yeah. I'm gonna Googies when I get home. Yeah, we're gonna solve this. And on the way out, I hear women being like, yeah, we're gonna solve, yeah, this is great, yeah. And you guys aren't gonna believe this. It's been 2 months since that show. Case still unsolved. I mean, how is that possible? How did everyone at the Beacon Theater that night not solve it?
I don't like anxiety because it feels very narcissistic. Like I'll literally trip over a crack in the sidewalk, be like, oh my God, everybody saw me, everybody thinks I'm stupid. But the truth is, I live in Hollywood, I'm over the age of 25, I often wear no makeup, nobody saw me. They don't tell you this when you move here. I mean, I love how shallow it is, but on a scale of hotness from 1 to 10, if you're under a 5 and not blonde, you can shoplift and nobody will see you. I'm like, oh my God, this lip gloss is floating out of the Sephora. I'm kidding, don't try that. But because my anxiety is so high, I get something called intrusive thoughts. Does anyone here know what intrusive thoughts are? A couple of medicated people. Okay. And if you don't know, it's kind of like when you get an inappropriate thought stuck in your head. And mine comes from anxiety. So, like, say you're really nervous from a job interview and you're like, oh my God, what if I tell my boss I love him, right? It's like that thought, but on crack cocaine. Like, it's bad, you know? Like, I was having a really anxious day, and I was volunteering at the soup kitchen, and I literally was handing this unhoused woman a bag of groceries, and my brain went, what would happen if you licked her nipples? And I was like, why? Why? It was crazy. I wanted to feel like a good person for one day. And my brain just went, motorboat those milk bags. I'm like, what the fuck? That's so insane. And it only happens when I'm really stressed out. Like if I have a big audition or something, like my brain will turn into one of those true TV prank shows where there's just a guy in the booth telling the person to do weird shit. It's like, you see that guy over there? I'm like, yeah. They're like, walk over to him, pour soup on his dick. I'm like, no. Like, it's funny though, because I'll have friends be like, oh my God, Sibby, you're so quiet. Why won't you share what you're thinking? Is it because you're shy? I'm like, no, it's because I'll be arrested. Like, I can't.
I grew up in Compton, California, yes. CPT in the house. That's right. My dad moved us to Compton to give us a better life. He heard Compton was known for its violins. No, es que aquí la música es de las buenas. It was known for its violence. We figured it out after they broke into our house 4 times. That's right. By the 4th time, my dad was like, that's it. I'm locking the door. My dad's big idea of home security was to turn up the radio while we were gone. No, es que así van a pensar que hay alguien. Which I guess kind of worked, because the last time they broke in, they took everything but the stereo. No, hombre, es que yo pensé que aquí era la ciudad de la paz. Es la ciudad de la paz, 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 paz. We moved to Compton the day of the riots. Yes, that is a true story. Like, as a kid, I never questioned how we got so much new furniture in one day. As an adult, I look back and I realize that my dad worked really, really hard for one day. I grew up on gangster rap and cumbias. Yes. Yes. One of my favorite gangster rappers was Biggie. Yes. Yes. Not because, he was from the hood and I can relate to him, but he was the first rapper I heard on the radio that sounded like me. Winded. If you're a true player, put your hands in the air.
I don't know if you guys recognize me. That's fine. I'll take it from here. I went viral last May for a couple days, because I appeared on MSNBC. Yeah. Now it's all starting to make sense. Yeah. I appeared on MSNBC and I told an abortion joke. Well, guys, I had to. It was Mother's Day. That's how I've celebrated traditionally since my son was born. And the right wing went insane, okay? Here's all I said. All I said was, we were talking about current events, and at the time, the draft that the Supreme Court was going to overturn Roe v. Wade had been leaked. So I said, I hope that leaker is a Republican, because I'm going to find him, have sex with him, get pregnant, and joyfully abort the fetus. Guys, it's not my best joke, okay? But guess what? I don't give the good shit to MSNBC on a Sunday night. And the right wing acted like that was my plan, okay? That's what makes me crazy. I'm in my 50s. I can't get pregnant. Guys, if I told you I was pregnant, if I announced it right now, you wouldn't be happy for me. You'd be like, science has gone too far. Let me be more graphic. For me to have a baby, you'd have to shove one into my vagina and pull it out again. And it would have to be a preemie, because I do Kegels. That's right. If we're gonna pull off this prank, please go to a NICU. I want a baby no older than 28 weeks. We'll talk later about the details. So the right wing went insane, okay? The next day was unbelievable. I got doxxed on Facebook. Somebody posted my address on Facebook. Yeah, that somebody was my brother. He's like, she's always been like this. Get her. Okay, thanks, Pat. And all day long, Christians emailed me. So many Christians. I don't know what the collective noun is for Christians, a crucifix of Christians. Emailed me to tell me that I was a slut. Guys, I'm a middle-aged single mom. Please, slut me. Please. Please. You guys know where I live. Make me an offer. And then Monday night, my friend, she calls me, she goes, oh my God, are you watching Fox News? And I'm like, no. Are you? Well, she was. Sean Hannity did a segment on me on his show on Fox News. Yeah, it was crazy. They showed me telling my little joyfully abort jokette, all right? And then they go full frame to Sean, and he's livid. He goes, folks, you can't make this stuff up. Dumb fuck, I literally made it up. That's what jokes are. They're made up things. And the person he was talking about me to was Lara Trump. Lara is a wife of Eric Trump. And she was slamming the shit out of me. She's saying I'm a horrible person, a horrible woman. And I'm watching this from home going, bitch, you're not even a blood Trump, shut up. I'll take this critique from Ivanka. I would take it to heart if Ivanka said it, but not of Eric. So anyway, my goal for the rest of the year is to find Sean Hannity, have sex with him, get pregnant. I can't finish it, they'll find me.
This is exciting. This is fun, man. Fucking comedy, you know? Comedy is hard. It's very hard, especially nowadays. Everyone's getting very sensitive. I don't know if you've noticed. Everyone's very sensitive. You can't say the right shit anymore. You don't know what to say. I was on a show recently, I said the word slut, right? This young woman stood up. She was like, you can't say that. I'm like, really? Because of politically correct bullshit? And she was like, no, because of your lisp. You can't say that. Fucking woke shit. It's out of control. I do have a lisp. Can you all hear it? All right. Your silence spoke volumes. Like, don't ask me. Hey, I like having a lisp. It's fun, you know? Because a lisp is in the word lisp. Isn't that fun? I say I have a lisp, and you're like, yes, you do. I completely believe you. It's the only condition where when you say you have it, you prove you have it. Like when you say you have diarrhea, you don't shit your pants immediately. You're not like, I have diarrhea, fuck, why did I say the word? Oh, I got shit all over my pants, god damn it! People say weird stuff about the lisp. I was on a date once, this is totally true. I was talking and the girl goes, what's that accent? Where are you from? I was like, the Looney Tunes, you recognize it? Not many people know that accent. I'm very impressed. We've really traveled around. People can be mean about the lisp. On YouTube recently, I posted a video and someone commented, maybe if you lost 40 pounds, you wouldn't have that lisp. I didn't get mad though. I used to get mad by that shit. I'm very zen now. He posted that, I just took a breath, calmed down, and flagged him for child pornography. Because that's one of the options on YouTube. I do that for everyone who's mean to me. Everyone, they're like, fuck you, you're fat. I'm like, well, the FBI's about to raid you, bitch. How do you feel about that? You hurt my feelings, you go to jail, okay?
Weight loss has always been a topic in our household. Grandma would get upset every time she'd see me. She's like, oh, honey, why do you look like this? No. You know, no man will marry you, honey. Men don't like fat girls. I was like, Grandma, I've seen the BBW section of some of these websites. They kinda like us. They kinda. She's like, Mary, I want to see you lose weight before I die. I was like, thanks a lot, Grandma. Thank you. Because the toxic diet culture wasn't enough. Now I have to live with the guilt that my grandma died without seeing my thigh gap. And you know, look, I have thought about what it would be like if I lost a bunch of weight. Okay, I fantasized what it would be like if I lost a bunch of weight really fast. With all that loose skin, I would be a flying squirrel. I would fly everywhere. I wouldn't even drive. Traffic who? Like, every time my friends would be at club, like, Mary, come through. Okay. Man, and like this is what keeps me humble, okay? Trust me, okay? This fat is what literally keeps me grounded, okay? Yeah. But you know what else would happen if I lost a lot of weight? I would turn into a whore. Whore. Obviously, you're here for it. Yeah. I would fuck everyone in here. Everyone. You, everyone. Wow, Armenians cheering for sex? This is new. Yeah, this fat is like a chastity belt, okay? And the key to this chastity belt is made of alcohol, weed, and inspirational quotes. Okay? So if you got all three, hit me up.
We have two dogs. One is, oh, Jesus, he's one of them small, yellow, yappy bastards. He's a cross between a mop and a panic attack. And I hate him. I fucking hate him. There's no peace in him at all. It's balanced out by this other dog we have. We have a Bernese mountain dog the size of a sofa. And he adores me. He fucking... I love you, Tom. I love you more than anybody will ever love you. Go on, put on the snooker. But I want to spend all day watching snooker. I'll go see who it is. Fuck off! We're watching the snooker. I hate your wife, Tom. I hate her. You should have married me. Now, you're probably wondering how somebody as kind of prone to whatever the fuck is that is going on with me gets a wife. Well, let's just say this. She wasn't a psychotherapist when I met her. Let me tell you how I ended up with a wife. I left the seminary, wasn't going to be a priest, and I wandered for a little while. I wandered north, south, and east, and eventually, fatefully, I arrived into a beautiful place called Galway on the west coast of Ireland in 1988, October 1988, on a rainy Tuesday afternoon in October. I had a long, big head full of Waterboy's dreams. I fucking had a knapsack on me back, but I was practical. I had my dole transferred before I left, and I was on the dole, which is what we call it in Ireland. I was on the dole, and I loved being on the dole, and I had no prospects, and I didn't want any fucking prospects. I met a lovely lady. She was also 19. She was on the dole. She had no prospects, and we decided now would be a good time to start a family. So we had 3 children. They were all on the dole as well. But 19 is young enough to be starting that crack because you don't know what's ahead of you down the road. And lo and behold, when I was 32 years of age, I met another lovely lady. And I couldn't decide between the pair of them. I was riding one and riding the other and taking notes, and I couldn't. Eventually, I decided to go with the second lovely lady. And even though myself and the first lovely lady weren't married, we'd been together for so long, we were like common law man and wife. But I actually married the second lovely lady, and now we have 3 children. So now I have 6 children from 2 lovely ladies, and we all live in the same place, so none of us can get over it. And I just want to give all the ladies in the room here just another minute or two to finish judging me. I don't think there's much point in asking the lads, because a lot of them didn't even follow the story. the lads are going, what happened to the dogs? Get him to do the dogs again.
These are very new jokes, and I want to try them. The way that I like to try out new material is I train myself the same way I trained my dog, okay? I use his shock collar, okay? So what I'd like to do here... Sometimes you just have too much stuff in your briefcase. Okay, this is an actual real shock collar. It tastes just like $40, and actually, let me turn it on first. Here we go. This is real. This is going to electrocute me. And what really sucks about doing this is that there's no way I can convince you of that. You know, it's like you would think I would just fake it, right? But I know I'm not faking it. Devin knows that I'm not faking it, okay? I'm going to give the remote to one person in the audience tonight. This is not a plant. And I'm going to allow them to shock me if they do not like a joke. That way I can learn my lesson, okay? Is there anybody that would be willing to help me? Maybe in the first few rows. Wow. Is this gonna make you feel like Kirby? No? All right, well. Kirby's gentle, is that what you said? I have to make sure it works before I hand it to you. Now, there's only one button you're going to need to push for this, so it's very simple to use, okay? There's 3 buttons, and you're going to push the top one. Okay, great. Okay, whew. Can I trust you with this?
That's real? That's real?
This is real, yes, it's real. What do you mean, is this real? Did you want to come up here and try it? Yeah, you don't expect that to be the situation a comedian says that to you, do you? Okay, here we go. When you push it, let's go ahead. The top button, okay, yeah, you got it, huh? Yeah, okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Okay, I got kicked out of a Home Depot earlier today because they don't have a dressing room and I wasn't gonna buy a bathtub without trying it on. Okay, great, perfect. Woo. Okay, great. Only push it when you don't like a joke. Here we go. What do you guys think about gluten-free bread for a boy's name? Okay, perfect. Let's see. Okay, you know, my mother actually died in childbirth, which is sad because she was only a baby. So my mom understood. When I was in middle school, I didn't do the reading, so I turned in a report on the Diary of Lisa Frank. Didn't like unicorns. I grew up in the science projects. That's cheap government housing made out of fake volcanoes. Great, thank you very much. A prime minister is a minister that can only be divided by itself and one. Okay, great. My baloney has a first name, but its last name was changed at Ellis Island. Okay, great. I just found out that they made an entire movie about my favorite Will Smith song, Men in Black. Okay, great. Why is it that we park on a driveway but cry on the freeway, right? Okay, wow, here, whoa, okay. My review of our solar system, 1 star. You know what I mean? Okay. Here we go. You have to care about your jokes, thank you. You have to care about your jokes, you know? They're like babies. Some of them will be smarter than the others. Okay, most of my body is a bald spot. Okay, that's fine. You tilted your head. That's the equivalent of a shock collar. That feels the same. I appreciate it, and it was an honest piece of feedback. But it was a thinker. That is a very kind way to say not funny.
I have this goal of getting a boyfriend, and the more time that goes on without that happening, the worse I feel about myself. Now, using data to make decisions isn't bad in and of itself, but you can definitely go about it the wrong way. And the first problem with what I was doing was the model that I was using, specifically a linear regression model where I connected 2 things with one straight line. And the problem with a model like this is that it can lead you to believe that things are correlated that aren't necessarily correlated. Okay, so consider the following. The more I drank, the more dates I went on. On these dates, I had drunk sex, and after enough drunk sex, I successfully caught 1 boyfriend. Therefore, I conclude that drunk sex leads to boyfriends. But the problem with an analysis like this is that each instance of drunk sex is weighted equally. So I'm basically saying that every time I sleep with a guy, I'm obtaining 3% of 1 total boyfriend. I've had 5 boyfriends in my life. Don't extrapolate, okay? Just so you know. At the time, though, I was not concerned because I was really into my boyfriend. I thought he was really great. Jim, he was so smart. I really like smart guys. I think it's very sexy when people are smart. But I also think it's very smart when people are sexy. Anytime I see someone really sexy, I'm always like, good thinking. I see what you did there. He was also short. I prefer short men. I think it's a little bit misogynistic to be too tall. How committed are you to looking down on me? I also think short men give better head, and if I had to guess why, I would say it's because they live life closer to the vagina. Okay, just able to get there faster in the event of an emergency. I want my boyfriend so short that people think he's proposing when he's not, and it's like, no, he's at full height. Jim was also a numbers guy, like he loved to 69. And I was always just like, Jim, we are not that busy. We can go one at a time. Or you can just go. We had some sexual issues. He always wanted to fall asleep right after sex, and I always wanted to stay up and talk. And he would be like, Ginny, you don't understand. Orgasms make me sleepy. And I was like, okay, fine, but orgasms also make me sleepy. And I know he cared about me. I know he did, because he used to look at me the way that I look at the clock when I'm in Pilates. It was pure longing. But the relationship had a lot of issues. I didn't get along with his family. His mother was in love with him, just in love with him, which was so insane to me, because his brother was a lot hotter.
Most of what my job is telling jokes about the news. What a time to be telling jokes about the news. The literal definition of fiddling as the world burns around us. Feels like we're entering the end game. Climate change is all we should be talking about, right? It's the biggest threat facing us as a species. And the biggest challenge we face within the overall challenge of climate change is how to get conservatives to care about climate change. I had to think about it. I've come up with an idea. I'm a very clever guy. Here's what you do. You stop referring to it as climate change or the climate crisis and start referring to it as climate immigration. Foreign weather is coming over here. It can't be stopped by building a wall or stopping small boats. It's in the air, turning cold, patriotic British weather into hot foreign nonsense, raining tikka masala down on the centre of London. Tidal waves of jerk spices sullying the once white cliffs of Dover. Some of it's Sharia weather. And you have to justify telling jokes about the news at a time like this. You have to justify it. And here's how I justify it. I'm trying to make myself and audiences feel better for a moment about things that feel scary. That's all I'm doing here. I'm not changing any minds. You didn't come to see a political comedian because you wanted to be challenged. You came because you wanted to have your opinions that you already hold reinforced in the company of like-minded strangers. That's why you're here. That's why you came. And I'm just trying to make us all feel better about scary things for a moment. And that's what I think comedy still is able to do. You can't change minds, but you can make people feel better about scary things. That's why I tell so many jokes about racism. I tell a lot of jokes about racism because it still really scares and upsets me. Every person of colour you know viscerally remembers the first time they were racially abused. For me, it was when I was 4 years old and a kid at school called me a Paki. Now that's a terrible word. It's a slur used against South Asians. It was daubed on the shop fronts of South Asian-owned businesses and shouted at our mothers and fathers by skin skin-headed Nazi thugs in the 1970s. But at the time, I was 4 years old, and I didn't know what that word meant, because I'd just been at home with my mum and my dad and my brother, and we were all Indian, so it would have been weird if we'd been racist to each other. So when he called me a Paki, I said, ooh, what's that? And he said, it's a bad word because your parents are Indian. And then I went home and cried to my mother. And that's why I tell jokes about racism, to make myself feel less scared. And that's why I tell jokes about the news, to make us all feel less scared for a moment so we can exhale. And that's what I've been doing largely for the last half decade. It's going on stage telling jokes about the news, going on the television telling jokes about the news, going on the radio telling jokes about the news. And I'll be honest with you, it's gone very well. I don't wish to be crass, but complaining about racism and capitalism has made this Paki very wealthy. What a wealthy little Paki. Go on stage, fuck you, white man, cha-ching, another for the Fabergé egg collection. I love being a rich fat Paki. And when I did these shows in America this year, the same show, I did it in America, and they seemed very intrigued by the idea that we have racism in Britain. An American friend of mine actually said to me, what do you think the differences are between British racism and American racism? I thought for a moment, and I said this. I believe the differences between our respective racisms are the same as the differences between our respective versions of the television sitcom The Office. British racism, like the British Office, is subtle. It's in the pocket. A lot of the time, it's more about what's not said than what is said. American racism goes on because it has an infinite budget, and the longer it goes on, the more it is starting to feature increasingly incoherent celebrity cameos. But crucially, as with racism and The Office, we fucking invented both, okay? The British invented racism, we invented The Office. Fuck you, the Steves, be ye Bannon or Carell. And so look, I got a very nice career. I make jokes about the news. I've done very well out of it. There's only one problem. Sometimes when people talk about stand-up comedy, they compare it to jazz music. Now, I think this is largely bollocks, with one exception.
I got a little fatter recently. Like, I gained some weight. And nobody is denying that. That's how you know it's a fact. I'm not like fat, I'm just fat for me. You know what I mean? Like, I know what I look like. I'm not like, oh my God, people are like, you look great. I'm like, that's because you're fatter than me. You have to watch who gives you the compliment. It's not always a good compliment. Like, I look good in a shirt. I look like a lot of you look good in a shirt. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know. You ever see a guy take his shirt off? You're like, what happened? How are you fat and skinny at the same time? Ew, what is that? You got that little E.T. belly. Put your shirt back on. It's gross. Gaining weight is weird. Stop laughing, lady. I'm moving on. You know you gain weight when you leave your belt at home. You're like, I'll be fine. Because that belt digs into your stomach. You ever take your belt off at the end of the night and you start scratching where your buckle was? Like, oh my God. I think there's poison in my buckle. I think I'm allergic to the metal. What is that? Mm-hmm. Start scratching that little area on your belly. Here's what you do when you start getting fat. The first thing you do is you just stop putting your shirt in. You just leave your shirt out. You're like, I'll never tuck this shirt in again. And then you get to the bottom button. You're like, I don't need this bottom button. And then you get to 2 buttons. You're like, I don't need these 2 buttons. You can't get to 3. It looks like you're wearing a cape. You have to stop. At some point, you have to give it up. You're fat. And don't get all the little ass tight in here either. Like, if you're happy and fat, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the dudes that still walk by the mirror and go, 2 weeks. I'll be right back where I need to be. Because at a certain point, it's over. It's gonna take a lot longer than 2 weeks to get rid of that belly. You wanna make any guy feel vulnerable? I don't care who he is. I don't care how confident he is. Just touch his back fat. I don't care how cool the guy seems. Go right here, go like this. He'll go, what the fuck? Don't touch me right there. Don't do that. It's the same reaction you get from a woman. You ever touch a woman under that arm, that little nana arm, that little that little fat? If you squeeze that fat, she goes, what the fuck? Don't touch me. A guy will do the same thing. You know why? Because whenever you touch a guy, he tries to make it hard. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be your grandfather. If you touch his shoulder, he'll go, You touch his bicep, You touch his calf, lot of you nasty niggas, though. Yeah, what kind of grandfather you got? I'm not touching the mother's dick. That's what you wanted me to say. You know when you can't make hard? Fat. There's nothing you can do to tighten up fat. There's one thing you can do, but nobody's gonna really do it, because I've tried it. You have to lean into it. Like if you lean into the fat, it gets real tight right there. You go like, ah. Well, no one's gonna do that, and they're gonna be like, hey, what's going on? Hey, don't touch me right there. Watch it.
I can't believe Hooters exists. Doesn't Hooters seem like something that a gay guy came up with to try to prove that he's straight? Just like, so Scott, what's your restaurant like? Well, there's boobs and sports, and who's gay now, Linda? Not Scott J. Hooter. That's who's not gay. Just jazz hands away. A lot of restaurants will give you a free meal on your birthday. I think they should give you a free meal the day you come out of the closet. Yeah. It would make coming out so much easier. Because, like, no one's dad is more homophobic than they are cheap. You take your dad out to lunch, you're like, Dad, I think I'm gay. He gets the bill, he's like, I think I'm gay too. Homophobia solved. I'm from an Italian-American family, so yes, we do kiss. We love it. No, I don't know. I didn't know that people didn't kiss their families. I had no idea until I met other people, you know? Kiss, you know, just on the cheek, you know? Hey, how you doing? Mwah, mwah. It's nice. I was out with my brother the other night, though, and he was trying to give me a kiss on the cheek. I didn't realize what was going on, so I turned and I kissed my brother right on the mouth, which is actually the most Italian-American sentence of all time. And I didn't know what to do, and I panicked, so I pushed him. Just like, get away from me. And then everyone at the restaurant turned and looked, and this woman came up to me, you know, because it's like a very tense time in America right now for interactions like that between men and women. And this woman was like, hey, are you okay? And then I had to be like, oh yeah, no, that wasn't like a big deal. That's my brother. I'm from Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is a truly wild place, has some of the most diverse white people you will ever see. Really, truly. Pennsylvania is one of the only places where you can meet someone who is a redneck and also Italian. They're like, when you're here, you're family, and we're into that. Just a little Olive Garden incest joke. I'm from a blended family, so I have like a bunch of half siblings and whatnot, but we get along really well. One time though, I was arguing with my dad, and my dad was just being a total know-it-all, and out of anger I yelled, I don't have to listen to you, you're not my real dad. And here's the thing, he is my real dad. But for a split second, he thought I knew something that he didn't. So I won that argument. My dad's a libertarian. Oh, okay. Oh, no one else here has gold buried in their backyard? Sounds like you guys are missing out on gold. So I guess the best way to describe my dad politically is that when I came out of the closet, he did not care. But then afterward, I asked to borrow $20 and he kicked me out. He tries, though. He really does. He tries so hard to be accepting, but he doesn't usually say the right thing. Like the other day, I was sitting with him and my girlfriend, and he kind of just cocked his head at us, and he was like, so which one of you wears the pants? And I had to be like, well, actually, in a same-sex relationship, you're not really beholden to the same societal power dynamics that designate one partner the submissive one and the other the boss. And then I looked over at my girlfriend, and I was like, that's what you said, right, babe? That's what it said in the article you made me read? I read it. It was good. I loved it. I have 3 brothers. I do. Any other Catholics here? I have 3 brothers. We like to argue over who my mom's favorite is, but even more than that, we like to argue over who her least favorite is. Because that's got way more teeth, you know? We were doing it the other day, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna settle this. I went up to my mom. I was like, Mom, you're trapped in a room with the 4 of us and a killer. One of us has to go. Who do you pick? She was like, well, I guess I would pick me. And then she said, because I have no interest in being trapped in a room with even 3 of you. She has a vicious sense of humor. One time, my brother called me an ignoramus, and she was like, hey, you can't talk to her like that. You have to use smaller words.
I don't mind making fun of myself for being fat because everybody else does if I don't. Everybody makes fun of fat people now. I swear to God. Every group has rights now, but fat people, there's no fat rights. We need a fucking leader. We need a fat leader. We need a Martin Luther Burger King Jr. to defend us. Or an LGBT community. It sucks. There's good things about being fat. You save money on heat. Doesn't hurt as much when you fall down the stairs. Got a place to put your cake when you watch TV. You don't gotta make your bed because nobody's gonna see it. So that's a joke. Fat people fuck. We fuck. Look in the audience. We're everywhere. Somebody's fucking us. You know? Clearly we're breeding. Some girls fuck fat guys. I don't know why I looked at you when I said that all hopeful, but some girls fuck fat guys. Not all girls fuck fat guys, and not most, but some. And ladies, I don't know if you know this, if you fuck a fat guy, you go to heaven. That's in the Bible. They always try to set me up with a fat girl. We can't fuck each other. The pieces can't touch, you know? And the noise, holy shit, it's like rubbing 2 balloons together. Is this too much for you guys? Fat people fuck. I always wonder, what does a girl see when she blows me? Just like a beach ball with eyes? Like, yeah, you like that. It's gotta be horrible. I never know what to do during a blowjob. I feel guilty getting all that pleasure. I feel like I should comb my hair or something, you know? Date a fat guy, we're great. We don't cheat, because who's gonna fuck us? We don't run away, because we can't fucking run. You know where we are, because you hear us breathing, you know? The last girl I was with never fucked a fat guy. I was the first fat guy that she ever fucked. She didn't say that, because that'd be rude. It was just obvious. It was like, we're fucking. She's like, why are we taking so many breaks? Like, there's gonna be a few breaks, okay? Can you put the ceiling fan on, please? When I fuck, I want the ceiling fan on, a glass of water by the bed, maybe a banana for some cramps, right? I always wanted a boxing crew to come in with a bucket and a sponge and be like, take it easy out there, all right? Just get on the bottom, stay down, stay down. She's killing you out there. That's a good joke out there.
Not to be controversial, but living in Brooklyn for I guess 5-6 years now, has really kind of convinced me that there are only 2 genders, and that is sad boy and witch. Neither of them has anything to do with biological sex, but it's definitely a vibe. Yeah. I went to this therapist, a real therapist, and I walked into her office, and this shit was covered in crystals, you know, which is already a bad sign, because it's you see crystals there. I'm not saying she doesn't believe in vaccines, but she has some questions, you know. Yeah, she's doing her own research, but yeah, you know, I told her I was feeling upset, and she was like, how long have you been feeling that way? And, you know, I was about 3 months I've been depressed. And she's like, have you ever looked into astrology? Which was fucked up, you know, because it's I'm a white woman from California. Obviously, I've looked into astrology. You know, I mean, I think that like astrology in general, like it's even dumber than religion sometimes. Like I'm not trying to talk up religion. I've had really bad experiences with it, but like, you know, even like the first story of the Bible is this whole stuff about like, you know, Adam and Eve are in the Garden of Eden, and then like Eve is tempted to eat this apple from the tree of knowledge, and then like she eats it, and then they get cast out of the Garden of Eden. And it's this whole thing about how the thing that makes us human is suffering, you know? And it's just like, I don't know, it's kind of a great metaphor. And I feel like how much dumber would that be if that all happened because they were Geminis, you know? Like astrology just feels like such a hard cope with like late capitalism, you know? Because it's like, well, you know, do we have a lot of problems because 5 guys own all the money and the stuff? Or is there Mercury retrograde? Are we in a climate crisis, or is it Scorpio season? Like, you know, I mean, this therapist, like, you know, I went to her because I didn't have insurance at the time, you know? Like, that's why I'm a socialist, because it's like, you know, for however unrealistic people can say that, you know, like, it would be for us to get, like, free universal health care one day, like, it's certainly more realistic than me marrying someone with health insurance. Like, living that freelance life, you know? This lady cost $60, which was cheap for therapy, but you know, it was like expensive for a horoscope. And yeah. Like maybe if you go to like a discount brain surgeon, they just like recommend a wizard to you or something. I don't know. But it made me think about, you know, like what if I didn't have $60? What if I had to go to the $20 therapist? Like what do people at the $20 therapist get? And I'm like, she probably just sits there playing a game of MASH with you.
I have been married for 5 wonderful years, 21 total, and those would be married people right there. Is anyone here engaged? Engaged? I'm sorry, engaged? Because I'll tell you what I know. I got married because I just didn't want to live without decorative pillows anymore. That was something that was missing from my life. Because nothing fills me with joy like having to remove 20 goddamn pillows from my bed before I can get into the bed. Pillows that I'm not allowed to touch otherwise, but marriage, I've learned, is about commitment. Because at least once a month I want to commit suicide. But every other day, homicide. It is challenging. It really is. You have to learn how to compromise. We learned early on when we were dating that I like to sleep with the window open, and she used to like to sleep with my brother. And that was a problem, so we had to compromise. Communication is key in a marriage also, and we don't communicate well. And I tried to confront my wife about it on Facebook, and she blocked me, which is kind of mean. We have great relationship. These are jokes. I love my wife. I prefer monogamy because I'm not good with names, so it's great for me. And to her credit, she got me to quit smoking because I only smoke after sex, so I haven't had a cigarette in 11 goddamn years. That's pretty good. And she took my name in marriage, and everyone calls her Needle Dick. It's hysterical, but we have a great relationship. I like it. I like being married. I really do. It's fun. You know, you got to find your way through it. It changes you. People think, oh, it's not going to change me. Yes, it will. Things change, and they change dramatically. When we were dating, the wife and I would open the car door for her, which I still do now, but now we're doing 70, and I'm pushing. A little different. And snoring has become a major issue in our relationship. I snored the day we met. My snoring has never changed. It's remained constant. Her reaction is what has changed dramatically. Because when we were dating, she said it was cute when I snored. But that's when she was trying to lure me in, right? When she was a penis flytrap. But then, once we got married, the snoring wasn't cute anymore. On the honeymoon, she started with a nudge. And over time, the nudge begat a shove. And now, she throws an elbow that would get her thrown out of a hockey game. Seriously. 2 weeks ago, I'm sound asleep and I'm snoring. She pinched my nostrils together, which is attempted murder, and it's bullshit. And sex. People think, oh, I'm getting married. I'll have sex whenever I want it. That's adorable. I will tell you that once they say I do, they don't. And You know you haven't made love in way too long when little things start to arouse you, like sticking your key in the ignition. That shouldn't get you going, right? The other day I was sharpening a pencil, and I swear to God I said, "Take it all, you whore." That's not right. That's wrong, and I know it is, and I'm working on it. Don't judge me. I walked into a Kentucky Fried Chicken recently, and the girl behind the counter offered me a juicy breast or a juicy thigh, and I had to turn around and walk the hell out of the restaurant. And I choked my own chicken in the parking lot, and that is just sad. Pounding your poultry in the parking lot. There's a jerk chicken joke in there too, but I'm not doing it. I'm above it. Anyway, you got to make it fun. You got to find the fun. You know, you guys are married. You're in the front row of a comedy show. You're fun-seeking missiles, clearly. You got to find the fun. Every morning I wake up, I lean over, I kiss my wife right on the forehead, and I say, "Good morning, Susan. I want you to have a wonderful day." And it's fun for me because her name is Carrie, but it makes me laugh every time. And every Christmas, she gets me soap on a rope, which is her way of saying that I stink and I should hang myself in the shower. But it makes her laugh. And every Valentine's Day, I get her candy, which is fun for me because she's a diabetic. You do what you got to do, everybody. On our 5-year wedding anniversary, my wife tried to surprise me with a car, but she missed. And on our 10-year anniversary, she got me a toaster, which was weird because I was in the bathtub at the time. And then this last year, she got me a case of very expensive, high-end French bottled water from some place called Camp Lejeune. God, I love her. I married a comedian because who needs health insurance? It's overrated. And people think we just laugh all the time. They think we never have arguments, that we just laugh everything away. Not true. There is some laughter in our home. It's usually her. It's in the bedroom and she's pointing, and I don't care for it. But we also have arguments, just like every other married couple. Stupid arguments. You know, dumb stuff. We never go to bed angry, though. We would much rather stay awake and plot our revenge. That's how we handle it. We had a fight recently because I peed in the shower on her leg. But I was just marking my territory. Sometimes you have no idea a fight's coming. It just comes out of the blue. A couple weeks ago, I was slowly taking off her bra, and she walked in on me. And, ooh, that was a doozy. Last night, she said I was suffocating her. I think that's what she said. The pillow was muffling her voice, but... And that joke is brought to you by MyPillow.com, everybody.
I'm living out here in LA now, and it's crazy because, like, I'm still trying to get used to it. It's weird. It's weird. Like, for example, one thing that I cannot get used to is the traffic. I like this shit. You guys looked at me like a lecture. I thought I was at a black church, but preach it, baby, preach it. Traffic is crazy. You know what's crazy about traffic out here? That it just comes out of nowhere. It just comes out of nowhere. You ever notice? You're driving, beautiful day. You're having a beautiful day, man. You're smoking a blunt. You're like, oh my God, yo, your favorite song is playing. Your window's cracked. You're looking at the mountains, like, oh my God, look how beautiful those mountains look. Right? Perfect day. Me and the pothead know what I'm talking about. Yo, listen. Then suddenly the beautiful day just becomes bumper-to-bumper traffic. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm a Latino, right? And the more I'm in traffic, the more I exaggerate. You ever be in traffic so long, you start to wonder what the traffic is? It must be a 2-car accident. Another 5 minutes. Oh, it's gotta be a fire. It's gotta be a fire. Another 5 minutes. 2 people must be dead. Another 5 minutes. Earthquake, a fucking earthquake. Another 5 minutes. A police pursuit. Que jodienda, a police pursuit. You know what gets me mad about traffic out here? Because there's traffic everywhere you go. But the traffic, you know what gets me mad? That you're in traffic for 20 minutes, and when you get there, what is it half the time? Nothing. You know what the traffic in LA is? People looking for the fucking traffic. That's the traffic out here. You ever see them on the freeway? They'll be like, what happened to them? They'll be looking at each other. I don't know what happened, yo. The traffic finished right there. Both sides of the freeway. Everybody's looking like, what are they looking at? Fucking nosy. I think traffic in LA is just one person that goes, what the fuck is that? And everyone looks. Everyone's like, what happened? What happened over there? I don't know, bro. I don't know about you, but if I'm in traffic for more than 20 minutes, when I get there, I want to see a dead body wrapped in a bloody blanket, yo. Look at somebody who went on, like that's a real person. It's a fucking joke, relax. I said that shit last week. Somebody go, oh, bendito, I knew that person. Nothing so fucking... You knew her, really? That's what I want to see, dude. Correct me if I'm wrong. A bloody dead body so I could rubberneck and cause more traffic for the people behind me. Fuck them too, yo. I want to see that shit and I want to put it on Instagram. That's the traffic right there. Hashtag dead. You know what I do?
I wake up every single day terrified that I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna check my phone, and I'm gonna see Elon Musk is bisexual. Now I have to welcome him into the community. Jeff Bezos, gender fluid. I can't do it! I won't! Maybe I'm just kind of insecure a little bit, you know? A little bit insecure about being queer. You know, it's like I love it. I love being with women, but it can be challenging, right? I think it's hard especially to be with women because women notice everything. Women notice everything, right? Very perceptive creatures, are we not? Women notice everything. The slightest change in tone, the tiniest eyebrow raise, right? You're headed out to work, there's a quarter instep turn difference. And they'll stop you and just be like, whoa. Babe, I don't know what's going on with you right now. But I am holding space. And this is absolutely a safe container. And also, if I might add, I just want to say I'm proud of you. Yeah, I'm proud of you. Yeah, I'm proud of you because I see you working so hard every day. Not only on your own trauma, but ancestral trauma as well. And I think that that's brave. And I think that that's fantastic. And I think that you're a goddess. But mostly, I'm just grateful. Now, some of you guys might not know this, but what you actually just witnessed was, in fact, a lesbian breakup. Okay? If you didn't know, a lesbian breakup is just two women going back and forth, naming all of the things that they are grateful for in one another, okay? Back and forth, painfully long list, back and forth. I am so grateful to you, back and forth, back and forth. We don't even know why they're breaking up at that point. Back and forth, right? You have taught me so many lessons about myself and everyone else. I will never be the same without you. Back and forth, back and forth. Oh my God, I am so grateful, grateful. Oh my God, I am so grateful. I will build an altar to you in my home to honor the gratitude that I feel. I'll never be the same without you. I am so grateful. I am so grateful. You have changed the life of everyone that I know and love in the future and now. Back and forth, right? Until eventually we marry each other's exes, do we not? It's actually a very beautiful ritual. Okay, stop. If it doesn't go down that way, there is always Breakup TikTok, which, if you don't know, Breakup TikTok is basically just a series of 14-year-olds with braces pulling tarot cards, okay? Saying things like, if you love someone, you will let them go, and if it is meant to be, then they will come back to you, right? And it's just me and all the other 8th graders in the comment section, like, claiming this!
do have a very unpopular opinion when it comes to celebrating Mother's Day, and it's that I don't want to do it. Let's not do it. Why are we celebrating? Here's the thing. We already sacrificed so much, we do so much, and now you want us to get the kids up, get them ready, get them locked and loaded in the car with their snacks and diapers and wipes and electronics we swore we'd never give them. And I have to get ready, hair and makeup and dolled up so you can take me to a fancy restaurant called the Cheesecake Factory. And now I have to pretend to enjoy a mimosa while my daughter has a tantrum because she just shit herself. No, thank you. And gentlemen, you are so sweet and so well-intended, and you'll say things like, babe, I just wanted you to enjoy a good meal. Okay, then why the fuck are the kids here? Yes. Someone asked me what the biggest surprise in becoming a mother was, and I had to think about it, and this was my answer. I was surprised that my last 3 bowel movements included a toddler sitting on my lap. So, for Mother's Day, I want a babysitter, I want a massage, and I want somebody to tell me I still look 30. That's it, okay? Yes. Yes. Mother's Day plans should be no plans, okay? To circle back, I love my daughter, but I would rather bleed out on the table again before having high tea with a 3-year-old, okay?
So we had a son, his name is Joe Hurley. He's 16, maybe 19. He's delightful. Now, after we had Joe, Jimmy Hurley went and did the right thing, got a vasectomy. Gentlemen in the audience, if you get a scheduled vasectomy, I beg you, do not do it at the CVS Minute Clinic. Because 1 year later, I found out, indeed, I was pregnant with my 5th child post-vasectomy. Yeah, you know what they call me up there in Plymouth, Massachusetts? Lucky Christine. Yeah, horseshoe up the ass Hurley, folks, that's me. Now, I remember the night I found out, I'm tossing and turning, I'm like, oh God, no, this can't be happening. I jump in the car, 12 o'clock midnight. I drive to the 24-hour Walgreens. I buy the pregnancy test. I throw it in the front seat of the car. I am not even out of the parking lot. And the plus sign is flashing through the bag. I get home, I'm crying, I'm pacing, doing a little praying. Oh God, no, please Jesus, don't make me do this again. And then I think, why am I suffering by myself in the middle of the night, right, you guys? Yeah. Right? I am waking Jimmy Hurley's fat ass up, and he will suffer with me. So I went across the hall to his room. Now, you gotta be careful, you don't wanna startle him too much in the middle of the night, because sometimes he tips right out of his recliner. But he must have known something was up because he actually pulled his hand out of his sweatpants to talk to me. I know, ladies, break me off a piece of that. So I held up the white stick. I said, we're in big trouble, Jimmy, big trouble. He said, who has a fever? Now I'm stuck home, prisoner. 5 kids, 4 in diapers. Every day of my life's the same, right? Every day is Groundhog Day. Just a little shittier than the day before. You wake up in the morning, you go downstairs, there the other 5 little beggars all sitting around the kitchen table. No hello, mummy, no good morning, mummy. Oh no, nothing nice like that. Nope, immediately. Waffles. I'm waiting on waffles. I don't want waffles, Mommy, I want toast. I don't want toast, Mommy, I want French toast. I don't want French toast, Mommy, I want Pop-Tarts. I'm not eating those Pop-Tarts, those are Stop and Shop, those are ghetto. She's in my seat, I can't see the TV, I won't wear that shirt, those pants are ugly. I wanted that bowl, he got the lucky sippy cup, she looked at me, he touched me! Somebody come in here and wipe my bum! And that was Jimmy Hurley. I said, I gotta get out of this house. I'm gonna kill somebody. So my best friend Betty told me that the local high school in Plymouth North High School, has a continuing education department for adults, okay? You can go take, some basket weaving or ceramics or pole dancing or some shit. Now, I go down to sign up, I'm very excited, and they said, Mrs. Hurley, everything is full. They said, but we did get a cancellation this morning on a sewing class. I said, sign me up. I come home, I wait for Jimmy to get home. He gets home, I said, listen, I did a little something for myself today, Jimmy. You're gonna have to rally a little bit more with these kids. I said, I signed up for a sewing class. Now listen very carefully. It's a 6-year course. We meet 7 nights a week. Three to 11. Now, Jimmy Hurley has screwed up the vasectomy to a high gloss finish. Now I have to go get neutered. Now, what this entails as a woman, they call it the hysterectomy, folks. That's what you get as a woman. You get a hysterectomy. And what that involves is you go in for your pre-op, and they shave you from the neck down in the pre-op. They shave you from the neck. You're like a newborn baby, all right? They shave you from the neck down. Now, they bring you into the OR. They cut you from stem to stern. They open you up, and they shell you like a dung beetle. It's like a yard sale. Everything goes. That's fine. Everything works out until 2 weeks post-surgery, when you're at the Stop and Shop with 2 full carts of groceries and 5 terribly behaved children. And then, right then, folks, is when that prep shave grows back in. No warning. You know what they say, folks, for every one you shave, 4 come to its funeral. I had more bush than Kenny Bunkport on Labor Day. I went up a pant size. So I'm in line, I'm trying to put the stuff up on the conveyor belt, you know, minding my own business. Oh boy. Oof, okay. And you're clenching and you're focusing and you're clenching and you're, mind over matter, Christine. And you know you go into some kind of tunnel vision when you get men or women. You get an itch in there, you go like, how am I gonna get in there? Am I gonna get in? And you, at one point, my little guy, like, ran out in the parking lot and got in the van with a clown. I'm like, I can't help you. Now, so, you know, so you're putting the stuff up on the car. So I'm like, just compose yourself, because, you know, and then I'm like, oh, oh my God, I can't even see straight. So I think I gotta, I look to my left, and I look to my right, and I see the TV guide rack. I got back to my groceries. Little bag boy at the end of the line looking at me something like this. I said, what are you looking at? He said, what? I said, what are you looking at? He said, nothing, ma'am. I said, paper or plastic? Paper or plastic? I said, paper or plastic? Run down to aisle 9 hardware and get me a wire brush, you little fucker. Huh? Just do that.
Growing up Jewish in Kentucky, people always ask the same thing. They're like, oh, you grew up Jewish in Kentucky. Did you grow up with a lot of anti-Semitism? And no, I did not. No one in Kentucky knew what a Jew was. They were not cultured enough to be anti-Semitic. Seriously, I tell people I was Jewish in Kentucky, and I swear to God, they'd be like, which one's that again? They would say, which one's that again? Is that the one where you're like, you don't celebrate birthdays? Or the one where you like churn butter with the hat and the churning of the butter? Or the one where Tom Cruise is your savior? Which one? And I tell them, I'd be like, it's the one your God was raised as. Everyone in your Bible is a fucking Jew. How do you not know anything about Jews? See how awkward it gets when I say that? Because you try to forget that shit. You're like, they're not, yeah, they were all Jews. The New Testament is just a Chinese restaurant on Christmas. It's all Jews. If everyone in my Bible was fucking Amish, I would know something about the Amish. They're all Jews, and people forget that. People forget that. Or they don't forget, but they like to tell themselves, yeah, they were Jews in the New Testament, but they weren't, you know, Jewy. That's what you all tell yourself. You know, they weren't Jewy, they were just Jews. How do you know? You can't separate the Jew from the Jewy. They're all Jewy. First of all, God's Jewy from the get-go. From the get-go, it's a Jewy God. What's the opening line in the Bible? In the beginning, God said, let there be light, and it was good. Not great. Just good. Just good. Is that not some Larry David shit right away? Just God right away being like, it's pretty good. It could have been better if I had a little more time. But for the amount of time I had, it's pretty good. His mother was a Jew. That's a Jewish mother. Jesus' mother. She's always at the cross all stoic like this. That's not how a Jewish mother acts. That Jewish mother would have been freaking out when she saw Jesus on the cross. She would have been like, Jesus! Oh my God! Oh my God, come down from there! Have you lost your mind? You were raised better than that, come down! You're gonna catch a cold! Jesus, it's not too late, you can still become a lawyer! Like your cousin Herbie! I can send you the application! You can still go to law school! Jesus! Oh my God! There are 4 deer outside! Thank you. I did grow up with prejudice, though. I did grow up with prejudice in Kentucky, mostly from my grandpa, who was pretty racist. And whenever he said something racist, my mom would always say the same thing. She'd be like, well, he's from a different time. He's from a different time. And I'd be like, yeah, but the only problem with that is he's not. He's from right now. He was from a different time, and then time moved forward. And he's still in time. And I really believe this. I'm not trying to be preachy, but I really believe as you get older, your most important goal has got to be to make sure that there's no racism in your heart. Not at all. Not even an ounce of racism. Not even an ounce of racism in your heart. Not even an ounce. Yeah. Because once you get dementia, that shit's coming out. That shit's coming out. You spend your whole life hiding it. And then you get dementia and the KKK hoodie is coming right the fuck off. Dementia is just God hacking your private emails. It's just WikiLeaks for the soul. That's all it is. I see some old people in here looking scared. Because you know it's coming. Racism is just a fart you've been holding in for decades. Dementia's weird too. Dementia will make you forget family members, forget loved ones, but not that you hate a group of people. Hatred is literally the last thing to go. People with dementia are like, I hate Mexicans, I hate Puerto Ricans, now who are you and where am I? Sir, you're on a campaign stage running for president.
I complain, but I have a good marriage. My husband and I have a very happy marriage. I mean, I know that he would like to be having a little bit more sex, but in this economy. Can't afford it. Everybody always wants to know where we met. I met my husband in a bar, which, generally not a good idea, right? Girls know that's like going grocery shopping when you're hungry and you bring home stuff you don't need. But this is my second marriage, and I have a daughter from my first marriage because I like souvenirs. And I have a son from this marriage because I lost a bet. And who knew Joe Pesci was not in any of the Godfather movies? I thought he was in one. I am married to the man who will not throw anything out. Does anybody else live with this picnic? You live with a background? You're very nice people. I'm going to make an announcement. If anyone in this room has a 1994 Motorola phone that needs to be charged, I have the charger. I have the box. I have the manual. Right now, under my kitchen sink, you tell me if this is crazy. Right now, under my kitchen sink, I have 17 extension cords. 17 extension cords. Is that normal? I think that's excessive. Come on, I got indoor, outdoor, I got the 2-prong, 3-prong, I got the orange industrial kind. I said to my husband, do we need this many extension cords? He said, yeah. You never know what you might need. I said, right, because we never know when Led Zeppelin is going to do their reunion concert in our living room. I was performing a couple of months ago. I was performing on a cruise ship, and you know, after you perform on a cruise ship, the passengers are allowed to come up and talk to you. It sucks. And they ask you, and they always ask the same thing: are you allowed to bring your husband on the cruise? And I'm like, I am, but don't tell him. My husband is wonderful, but he's so annoying. Married people clap. Let me understand who's married. Married people, okay. Maybe this isn't just my marriage, but my husband calls me every day in the middle of the day just to say this: what's up? What's going on? You get this? Right, a little check-in call. What's going on? What's doing? Like I have a secret life. What's doing? What's going on? What's happening? Like I'm killing people for the CIA. Every day, I can set my watch to it. What's doing? What's going on? The other day I snapped. I said, well, I'm on a rescue mission in Somalia.
I wonder about my background, you know, that's how my dreams are, you understand? I mean, you know, I had weight loss surgery, and so I don't get to eat like that no more. I miss all them foods, you know. I can only eat bites of it. I can eat a half a slice of pizza now. I can eat a half a burrito, but I come back. As soon as I take a shit, I come back. I have to release and come back and enjoy, you know. Oh man, 'cause I ain't nothing wrong with good eating. We live in America. We take pictures of our food. I ain't never seen that bullshit before. My brother say, man, hold on, let me get a screenshot of this shit. I said, what? I said, boy, I feel sorry for people in poor countries like Ethiopia or somewhere like that, where they gotta take a picture of a bowl of rice. Hey, you know, hold up, Butu. Let me take a picture of this bowl of roaches. Come on, man. We spoiled here. We got pizza with cheese in the crust. Now that's too fat. That's just ridiculous. But it's fantastic though. It's so good. I mean, you think the crust is done, you turn around, you know what? I got a second meal here. You go to Little Caesar, they got it hot and ready for $5. You ain't gotta say nothing to nobody. It's over there, right there, give me 5 of them, let me get out of here. You can eat them in the car. They got a pizza wrapped in bacon. That is insane. Why you need bacon around the pizza? And they said, why not? I said, ain't no reason to argue with that shit. That makes sense. United States, the only country got a show called My 600 Life, 600-Pound Life, and it's been on for 15 seasons. That's a lot of fat fuckers on one show. How you find that many people weighing 600 damn pounds? Shit, I got up to 550. I didn't even make it. I was trying. I was like, come on, body. You can do it. My buddy said, I can't. I'm gonna stop right here. This is my breaking point. 555, that's all I can do. Come on, one more chicken wing.
I fulfilled an ambition of mine recently in New York in that I played to an entirely black audience. There was a comedian called D.L. Hewley, and he said I could do 10 minutes before him. And I was so fucking excited. Because I wonder, is there a connection or something between peoples who have suffered? I was wondering, is there some fucking... if the oppressor has had his boot on your throat for centuries, no matter who the oppressor is, can you feel that? I feel a connection with black people, with fucking Mexicans, Aboriginals, Eastern Europeans, the Russians. I fucking feel. There's one group of people I just don't fucking Protestants. I don't get them. I don't. What the fuck? They're the spoilt brats of the Bible. I just don't fucking understand. I have more in common with an Estonian Jew than I do with a Presbyterian from Antrim. That's just the fucking truth of it. Anyway, I'm watching D.L. Hewley's crowd come in, and the women are so gorgeous. Oh my God. These African American black women just fucking... I'll tell you how beautiful they were. You wouldn't even get to ride them in heaven. That's how gorgeous they were. You just have to stand there and watch God have sex with them. And he'd be there. I amaze myself sometimes. So the men look really significant. You know, sharp suits and everything, and they're walking out. And I'm the only white man there. And I get introduced, and I go out and I start doing my stuff, and I start off with the Irish stuff and drinking and all this there, and they're fucking. There's a dialogue has begun, and then I move on to the stuff about sex, and they're fucking. I have them, and then the stuff about family and children, and we are one group together. And to finish, I move on to the stuff about Jesus, which they didn't really like as much as the other stuff. They just, and they got upset when I started taking the piss out of Christ. And the funny thing is that I'm religious. I mean, I have a dirty fucking mind, but I'm also holy. I say my prayers, but I think of I'm the man who patented the idea for anal rosary beads. That was my idea. They're a devotional sex toy that you pull out of your partner's bottom while reciting the glory be to the Father and to the Son and to the Holy Spirit as it was in the beginning. I can see you're enjoying this, Maureen, but just to let you know that we will be moving on to the sorrowful mysteries quite shortly. And the beads will be getting bigger, just to let you know.
We have some white people amongst us tonight. I will make it clear to the white people why black people were hesitant to get the vaccine to begin with. I will make it clear. Black people, may I speak for us for a second? Yeah. Here's why. 2 reasons why. Number 1, when the vaccine first came out, black people, y'all remember this, when the vaccine first came out, they said, the vaccine's here, we gotta get it to minorities first. Remember that? And every black person in America turned into Nate Dogg. We was like, hold up. It was like, black people first. No, not black people first. Not black people first, black people last. White man after you. Asians, you up next. If they wanted black people to get the vaccine so bad, here's what the government should have did. They should have used reverse psychology. That's how you get black people, reverse psychology. You gotta make black people feel like they're missing out on something. Then they want it. They should have said, the vaccine's here, it's ready, it's been approved. It's for white people only. And the next day, niggas would have been marching. Why do we want the shot? When do we want it? Now. Why do we want the shot? When do we want it? Now. Why do we want the shot? Black people would have marched on Washington. Shot, 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 shot. Everybody! See? I know black people. I've been black my whole life. Reason number 2 why black people do not rush out to get the vaccine. Reason number 2, because black people, we as a whole, are not a worrying people. Black people don't worry. We don't let shit worry us to death. Black people don't worry about the next day until it's the next day. A brother will go to bed at night like, yo, I gotta pay rent tomorrow. I don't know how to do it. I'm broke to the motherfucker. Good night. He will sleep like a baby. Wake up the next morning. Goddamn, rent due. Ain't this about a bitch? Look his landlord dead in the face. What you want me to do? When I get it, you get it.
Short-term memory. They always tell you, as you get older, your short-term memory will diminish. So I was anticipating a little hit to the short-term memory. What I didn't understand was just how short the term is. It's a short term. I was talking to my friend. I said, hey, this trip you're going on, is that for business or are you going just for fun? He said, oh, the latter. I went, I don't remember what order, I just said it. I just said it. That's not a memory, that's now. That's short term now. I'm losing my now. I don't remember anything anymore, but I'm honest about it. I tell people right up front, as they're talking to me, I will tell them, hey, just so you understand, this is the same as if you weren't talking to me, okay? Just, no, I can hear you and it's nice to see you, but it's not going in, that's what I'm saying. If it's important, write it down. Well, you know what, tell my wife, but I'm telling you, I can't hold it. I have maxed out. My cloud is totally filled. I cannot, it cannot go in there. Sometimes I do remember what people tell me, but then I don't know who told it to me. That's the thing. I spend a lot of my life going, who was I talking to? Who was I was just talking about that. Yes, the zebra that exploded in the zoo. We were talking, who was I talking to? I heard, who was I talking to? That's why it's great if you're married, if you're in a couple. If you're married, you're in a couple, you have a built-in backup system 24/7. You just, honey, who are we talking to about the zebra? Huh? You weren't there? Who was I talking to? Do you have any idea? You know, where have I been the last 4 or 5 days? Any recollection? Well, who could I have been talking to? That's what I'm trying to get. Throw some names at me, see if anything rings a bell. Are you not keeping track? Remember I asked you to keep a list of where I go and who I talk to? Yes, I did. I didn't ask you, I asked somebody. Who was I talking to? I could have sworn that was you.
I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I am Salvadorian. It's important for me to say that because for a long time, I didn't like telling people I was Salvadorian. When you tell people you're Salvadorian, it's always followed by a bunch of questions. Oh, you're from El Salvador? What part of Mexico is that? Then you have to explain geography to people. It's like, no, it's a whole different country. Oh, you mean like Puerto Vallarta? Like, yes, exactly. Then I would get people that would say, oh, but you don't look Salvadorian. Then I have to explain to people that Salvadoreños, we don't always wear our pupusas, right? That's only for special occasions. Tell you, man, oh, man. I remember having to come out to my Mexican friends. I was like, hey, guys, I have something I need to tell you. I'm Salvadorian. They were like, oh, we know. We can smell the curtido on you. My Mexican friends would always out me to their families. They'd be like, oh, este es Jose. Es salvadoreño. I'm like, would you let them like me before you out me? Give me a chance. Come on, man. My name is Jose. Most Salvadorian men have names like Wilson, Nelson, Walter with a G. Me, Jose with an H. It's with an H because it's pronounced in French, Jose. I had a lady ask me one time, she was like, oh, Jose, that's such an interesting name. How do you say that in English? I was like, Jose. I like how people who hear my name, who speak Spanish, because they hear Jose, and they pronounce it Josai. And to me, that's the most funniest thing because it sounds like an excited black lady saying my name. Hey, Jose. I see you, baby.
There's all adults in here. A lot of you have licked a butt or had your butt licked. Don't get weird and act like you haven't. If you haven't, do it. It feels good. Someone gets their head in there, they're like, they get in your butt. It feels good. I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to look in your eyes. No, that was weird. Yeah, that was weird. I looked right into his eyes. He was like, in my butt. I was like, looked at the wrong dude. My bad. Supposed to lock with a lady on that one right there. I'm sorry. Whatever people aren't into, they act like you like the grossest version of it. They act like I'm crawling around the floor tonight like, where's the toes? I have feet standards, okay? If your toes need tough acting to acting, I'm not gonna be licking them, trust me. You got Lamisil in your Christmas stocking the last couple of years. Somebody's trying to tell you something. Them nasty ass feet away. Ugh. I don't like it, because when people aren't into it, they think you're gross. They think I'm just waiting at the end of the marathon like, you done running? I'm ready to lick your toes. My boys be messing with me all the time. They always be talking shit. My friends, they always be messing with me. I come in, once your friends know you're kink, they start messing. I show up at the cookout. They be like, oh, here he comes. He sucks toes. Hey, Corey sucks toes in different area codes. Area code. He likes toes. Toes. My fucking boy. Toes. Shut up, man. Take off your shoes, and give him your feet. He wants his hands on your toes, and your toes on his nose. I'm like, shut up! When your people know you're kink, you can't say anything. One of my boys was making burgers one day. He was on the grill making burgers. He's sweating in the burgers. Sweat. I see it going in the burgers. I'm like, yo, you're sweating in the burgers. He was like, yo, you suck toes, dog. I was like, yo, that's different. I chose that. I didn't choose that head sweat from you.
Good to see y'all. Hey, I like this guy's enthusiasm. Keep it going for him. My name's Ian Abramson. I just got out of a relationship. My ex-girlfriend said that she was tired of walking on eggshells around me. I was like, listen, that's just how I decorate. You know what I mean? All right. Earlier, my friend asked me what I thought about The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Said I'd marry the witch. I'd kiss the lion. And already killing the wardrobe. Right, folks? Okay! Oh, man. Something I've been thinking a lot about lately is time. Time is a weird concept. You know, it's not something real, not something that you can touch. So that means if you take a timepiece, like a watch or something, and you set it back 1 hour, you're pretty much traveling through time. What I'm saying is, I invented time travel, yeah! Oh, whoa, get a load of this crowd! Oh my goodness! Somebody up here had some really great enthusiasm. I didn't catch who it was, but keep it going for them. Oh, not to start on a downer, but I got dumped recently. I know, my ex-girlfriend was like, I'm tired of walking on eggshells around you. I was like, you gotta take off those eggshell shoes, you know what I mean? Earlier, my friend asked me what I thought about the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Said I'd marry the Father. I'd kiss the Holy Spirit. Then you gotta kill the Son, right? What are we gonna do? Kiss the Son? I just married the Father, right? Okay. Time is weird. The concept, you know? It's not tangible. You can't hold time in your hands. During daylight savings, right? When you set the clock back, you're traveling back through time. What I'm saying is, I invented time travel! Yeah! All right, here we go! Ian Abramson is my identity fart. This enthusiasm's got a fun guy. A relationship just got out of me, and my ex-decorator said that she was tired of walking on my girlfriend. I was like, listen, how do you like your eggs? Earlier, my friend asked me what I thought about marry, kiss, kill. I said I'd marry, kiss. I'd kiss, marry. Then you gotta kill, right? Oh. Oh boy, something that I've been timing a lot lately is thinking. Thought can only happen so fast, and most people think very slow. So that means that if two people are sitting next to each other and they think the same thing, they will finish that thought at different times. So what I'm saying is, I invented brainstorming! Really sorry about that. I thought that time traveling was gonna work. Really sorry about that. I thought that time traveling was gonna work. No, I really expected that time travel thing to work out. Sorry about that. I really timed that thinking thing was gonna be employed. Oh boy! Wow! Get a load of this crowd! Oh my goodness! Wow! Oh, good enthusiasm, sir. All right. My name's Ian. Got married recently. And my wife told me that she feels like she's walking on eggshells around me. Okay, I shouldn't start like this. Okay, sorry. A little nervous. Earlier, my friend asked me what I thought about The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I said, good movie, better book. You know what I mean? Been thinking a lot about a time, okay? You know what? I'm not gonna do that joke, actually. It goes on a little long, it gets repetitive. I just,
Spend a lot of time in therapy. The world needs therapy because the world is toxic. Black men going to therapy. This didn't happen. I'm a first generation black man going to therapy. But I'm not the first person in my family that needed to go to fucking therapy. Yeah, they talking about generational curse. Nah, we could have fixed that shit with fucking therapy. Church ain't therapy. It's a toxic ass world we live in. Everything is toxic. Instagram, toxic. Every day somebody getting called a narcissist. Yeah. Ain't that many goddamn narcissists. I've been called a narcissist by 4 different women, and I'm like, you know what, bitch, spell the word first. Spell it. You know what, that's why the last relationship didn't work. You was a narcissist. No, bitch, no, that's not even how you use the word. You being a narcissist right now. You sit in there, you learn stuff. Fellas, you scared to go to therapy, go in there. Don't be afraid to go in there. That's how you unlock your inner fuck nigga. Therapy. When you go to therapy, they give you the SEO for getting bad bitches. Words like past trauma. Words like I'm working on my inner self. Shadow work. Yeah. It's toxic. Yeah. First little therapist I went to, I looked him up. First nothing against black people. I just wanted my therapist to be white because I didn't want to have niggas in my business. Because you know what they say, like, oh, it's all confidential. Like, nah, you gonna tell somebody this shit, bitch. Because I'm coming here to unload. My goal is to tell them everything. I want the therapist at the end of the shit to be hooked on my goddamn life like Snowfall. Like, what is this nigga finna tell us this week? So I did. I started with a white therapist. Found him. He came heavily recommended after many of my Instagram outbursts. They done sent me a therapist, so I go talk to bro. Go to his office, got a great office. He don't look like the therapist in my head that I envision an old white guy, gray hair, beard. No. Dr. Melanson looks great. I go in, he got a great greeting. When I come in the office, I sit down and he talks, hey, Bill, how's it feeling, champ? This is our week, man. We're just gonna peel those layers back. We're gonna get to what the issues are. You lay it on me, bro, and we're gonna walk through this together, bro. Let me tell you something, I'm living life. You see that Maserati outside? You can have all that, man. You got it. He's a motivational guru. So I'm peeling back these layers. So Bill, see, you had a little bit of a drug problem. You wanna tell us why you wanna use drugs so much? Here's the thing about trying to get off drugs. When I started, my friends ain't fucking helpful at all. Yeah, see, white people friends, when you go clean, they want to go clean with you. I'll wake every step of the way with you, buddy. I'm gonna go clean, you're gonna go clean. We're gonna get through this shit, not niggas. No, niggas, they so fucked up. They called me when I said I was getting clean. Nigga, you gonna get clean today? Nigga, my birthday next week, nigga. God damn, don't do this to me, man. Fuck you, Billy, man. You a whole ass nigga with this shit, bruh. So you gonna stop now, nigga. All this shit, so you telling me right now, I got a FaceTime call. So you telling me you ain't gonna fuck these bitches and do this cocaine with me, nigga? That's what I'm saying, man. Fuck you, bruh. You ain't shit. I'm like, nigga, how? It's a difference. Most people know they know the weed man. Weed man is cool, but he's not the same as the coke man. Two different types. Weed man, very impersonal, rude guy. You know, what you want with it? The price is the price. It's not how to... See that? Yeah, it's impersonal. No. Angelo, the guy who sells cocaine to me, yeah, he's a part of my family. It's different, you know? I tried to go clean. I didn't answer the phone for Angelo. 3 days later, he shows up at my house. Hey, bro, I just let myself in. I was getting kind of worried. What's going on? I got some stuff. Let's sit it down. See, Angelo got my kids' gift for Christmas. He would watch my kids if I need to go do a show. Him and his wife would take them places. Like, he's a good guy. Angelo was committed to being in my life. He'd do the drugs with me, talk to me through this shit. He even would do the dishes. Man, I'm just gonna clean this stuff up, bro. You got a lot of shit going on over here. So you gotta have somebody on your side. My therapist, he didn't understand that shit. I started talking about where this shit all came from, but it is what it is. You know, when people find out what your business is, they telling everybody. Yeah, because everybody wants to be in your business. Because toxic sells. I know I'm a fuck nigga on the inside. But the streets made me this way. You see this hair? This hair says keep it. And I mean keep the baby. Needless to say, I'm a father of 5.
When I was 4 years old, my mum said, if somebody's racist to you, get on with your life. You show that you're a better person than by living well. But for some reason, I couldn't move on from this. I was not okay, even a year later. Full disclosure, I didn't know that I wasn't okay. My girlfriend said, hey, I don't think you're okay. I said, why do you say that? She said, you cry a lot. Inside Out is a sad film, but not when you're a 36-year-old man who's seen it 5 times before and is now just reading the Wikipedia plot synopsis. She said, you need to see a therapist, and I refused, which is so hypocritical of me, because I do so much work for mental health charities for free, because I'm a fucking great guy. I might be the best man that's ever lived. Sometimes the charities say, we have a fee, we can pay you. I say, no, the crazy people need it. And the reason they always want me... The reason they always want me and people like me is because men of colour disproportionately don't go and seek mental health support. So I guess they figure if they get a bunch of us to talk about it, it will improve numbers. But it's clearly not doing it. I couldn't even do it for myself. Apparently I was just walking around going, men of colour, please, get help. There's no shame in it. But in my head I was thinking, but not me. Not me, I'm the greatest man of colour that's ever lived. It goes me, Muhammad Ali and Blade from the film Blade. Eventually, in a pincer movement between my girlfriend and the comedian and actor Brett Goldstein, my dear friend, they tricked me into going to therapy. Brett emailed his therapist with me CC'd in, and the email just said, this is Nish, he needs help. And then, having been unwilling, I was uncooperative. For the first 3 weeks, she'd sent me homework and she'd say, have you done the homework? Like, no, I haven't fucking done the homework. I'm not here to work, I'm here to be worked on. Cast your spell, mind witch. Eventually, she boiled my homework down to one form. It's a PCL-5 form. It's a negative mood indicator form. It asks you questions about negative moods. It says, are you angry? Are you stressed? Are you upset? Are you depressed? You rank those moods 1 to 5. 1 being not at all, 5 being I'm feeling this quite a lot. And I was filling it in dog shit. Man, I'm Nish, I'm the best. After 3 weeks of this horse shit, she lost her temper. Do you know how far you have to push a mental health professional before they lose their temper? She said, and this is a direct verbatim quote, you are filling in these forms aspirationally. I am asking you how you are feeling, and you are telling me how you wish you were feeling. I said, why is that a problem? She said, what do you think I'm treating you for? I said, I don't know, man, bad vibes. I don't know, like, vibes are suboptimal. She said, I'm treating you for post-traumatic stress disorder. You are exhibiting classic symptoms of PTSD. And when she said that, my first thought is something I will always be embarrassed by. My first thought was, oh, Kumar, you fucking pussy! Ooh, I got shell shock from a BAP. Now, the reason that I thought that is my understanding of PTSD was fundamentally flawed, based as it was on some films and that one West Wing episode. All that happened is that I believed the death threats. I believed that that was going to happen, and I'd internalized the trauma of that threat, and I was constantly reliving it. So 5-6 times a day for a year, I was imagining what was going to happen when I was assassinated, right? And I didn't realize that that was weighing down heavily and fundamentally warping my entire personality. Now, for some reason, as soon as she said PTSD, something snapped in my head, and I was like, oh, I need to take this seriously. It's a very mild case. Soldiers have it severely. Historic victims of childhood sexual abuse have it severely. I've got the PTSD equivalent of scraping your knee, but if you don't deal with a scraped knee, it can really fuck up your life, right? And now I'm in it and I feel much better. It's been a really helpful process for me. And I go to therapy every single week, and I'm embarrassed by my reluctance. If I was trying to make excuses, I would say I wasn't really brought up in a therapy supportive culture. I was born in England in the mid-80s. And if you remember England, now we're all like, yeah, we should talk about our mental health. In England in the fucking 1990s, if someone said, hey, should we talk about our mental health? Someone else would say, why don't you shut the fuck up and drink some gin, you cunt? Like, that's where we were at with it. Also, I'm Indian. My parents are Indian, and that's not really a culture that has been historically supportive towards chats about mental health, man. You can't go to your Indian parents and say, should we see a doctor about my mental health? Because they'll say, no, we don't see doctors, we be doctors. But those are just excuses that I'm making because I was reluctant to do it, and I'm embarrassed by that, right? And now that I'm doing it, she says things to me that challenge me and make me think about the world in a different way. Sometimes she says things and I have no way of answering them. Like, she said this to me. She said, you seem to have a very low opinion of yourself. Now, I ask you, oatmeal dickwads of the piss room, how is it possible as a human being to not have a low opinion of yourself when you know all the things you've thought? How is it possible to not have a low opinion of yourself? How do you do that when you know how many times on any given week, because someone is being slow in the queue in a supermarket, you think, I hope you fucking die later. I hope you fucking die, and I hope the way you die is you get run over by a bus filled with all your family, so they never process the shame of murdering you flat as a pancake, you 6 items in the 5 items or less queue cunt. Can't you read? You know all the lies you've told, not just the big lies, the small lies that you tell every day, that your brain tells you off for telling as you're telling them. Why are you telling people you've read Tess of the D'Urbervilles? You never read Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Why does it matter if you've read Tess of the D'Urbervilles? What are you going to do if someone says, what is the plot of Tess of the D'Urbervilles? Oh, there's this girl Tess, and let me tell you, this bitch is off the D'Urbervilles.
Like, I'm a Utah Jazz fan, lifelong New Yorker, fan of the Utah Jazz. 35 years. Makes no sense unless you dig deeper. Because my parents fought a lot growing up, like a lot. Like, it was sort of like a rough draft of a Quentin Tarantino script. And they were always at odds, except when it came to discipline. They seemed to find common cause. If JL didn't make his bed or eat his vegetables, all of a sudden it became Remember the Titans. And, but seeing them fight, and I always get a kick out of people who are like, I'm a child of divorce. Child of divorce. I'm like, I'm a child of marriage. What makes you think yours is the default bad one? Sometimes divorce is the answer. It's always, I'm a divorce, I can't do it. Well, I think that would, divorce is not always the worst thing. But, yeah, that was interesting. But I think seeing them fight so much, my mom, a sort of short Irish Catholic woman, my dad, a tall black dude. I looked at the Utah Jazz when I was growing up, and their 2 star players were John Stockton, a short Irish Catholic dude, and Karl Malone, a tall black guy. And they cooperated so nicely that I was like, oh man, look, Mom and Dad, it can work. And they became like my surrogate basketball parents. And that's what you get when your parents fight in an interracial marriage. You end up following and being hopelessly devoted to a weird team for the rest of your life.
Jim and I start sleeping together again. We have all the same issues. He's always mad at me for drunk texting him. And in his defense, I had a prolific drunk texting problem. One of the beautiful things that I've learned in sobriety is that I actually don't need alcohol to send texts I regret. So Jim breaks up with me again, and once again I go on a tear. Because I really want to get a boyfriend, and I reason that drunk sex leads to boyfriends, since that is the only thing that I've ever observed to be true. So I start sleeping with anybody and everybody. This time around, though, it's not as fun and experimental as it was in my early 20s. It's like a little bit more desperate. And people do start to take notice. Like, men started to tell me that I needed to be less casual about sex, like, while the sex was underway. But in my defense, the potato chips were right there. That's a true story. I did eat during sex. I did it because I thought it would be funny. And I was right. The guy I was with at the time very hard disagreed. He was like, Ginny, that's messed up. You can't just eat potato chips midway through sex. And I was like, Josh, how was I supposed to know that we were midway through? Come on. Women don't know how long sex is gonna take, okay? It's not an Uber ride. One of my friends once asked me if I looked back on men I used to sleep with when I was drinking and realized that they were losers, and I was like, no. I knew it at the time, okay? I was drunk, I wasn't deaf. It's not like I missed hearing that man tell me that he lost $80,000 trading crypto, and that his plan to get it back was trading a different kind of crypto. I was there. Eventually, though, the drunk sex pays off yet again. I find myself in another relationship, the most toxic relationship of all. He would take issue with that designation, the relationship part. Let me paint you a picture of this man. You ever hear women complain about guys in their 30s who don't have top sheets? This guy did not have a bottom sheet. And when I say that his fridge was the most disgusting fridge I'd ever seen in my life, please keep in mind that I recently left a bag of shit overnight in my own. His was worse. One time in the middle of us making out, he left the room, ate a spoonful of peanut butter, returned, continued making out with me, and never addressed the peanut butter. And it was like a lot of peanut butter. Like if I had a peanut allergy, I might have died. It would be dramatic to call this experience rock bottom, but as I lay there, spread-eagled on his bare mattress, the regurgitated peanut butter kind of lobbed between my gum and upper lip, I thought, something has gone awry. This was not the plan. I seem to have veered off course. I think I need to make a change. Also, he broke up with me. Can you believe it? He said he thought we should see other people. I was like, no, I should see other people. You should be alone, okay? At least until you clean your fridge, sir.
This is a song about all the people I don't believe should have been born. And it's in list form. People who talk on speakerphone in public. Those who wear too much cologne or perfume, like we get it. Chad took a bath today. Everybody make some noise for Chad, because he took a bath today. Stopping too quick while walking in a crowd, and people who hit reply all If you don't know how to use email by now, just die. People who can't park within the lines to save their lives. People who lick their fingers to turn a page. Why? Or rushing onto an elevator before letting people get off first. We all know that those folks were meant to be swallowed up. Those folks weren't meant to be born. Now, everybody, I know individually you have your own lists, but this is my list right now. And if you don't like my list, then you're on the fucking list! I shall cunt in you. People who use all caps in an email or a text. Or sending a bunch of small text instead of one long one, because you get that ping, 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 and you want to throw a fucking ninja dart in somebody's eyeball! Not standing to one side on an escalator, or starting a sentence with no offense. No offense, but people who refuse to replace the toilet paper, or the girl who won't use the word literally correctly. You can't escape her. Or your friend on social media whose posts are all super vague. You know what I'm talking about. Like the girl who's like, you do you, but you know what you did. No, Carol, I don't know what I or anybody else that you know possibly did. I'm on social media because I want to see dogs in human outfits, not deal with your passive-aggressive bullshit! Those folks were meant to be swallowed. Those folks weren't meant to be bored. They were made for a Superman or good old-fashioned rusty trombone. Some folks were meant for pull and pray, or at least a plan B until they're illegal. Some folks were meant to be swallowed. It would have made us very happy.